Welcome to the Lazarus Pit. Hashtag nerds chatting. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Lazarus Pit Pod. This is a special commentary. Just going to clap there for a bit of audio syncing.
Nice. I forgot to do that the other day.
Behind the curtain.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Trying to sync up that audio sucked. Sorry, carry on.
So we're going to be watching Man of Steel, 2012's Man of Steel. 2012?
That feels right.
2013's Man of Steel.
Is it?
It was on. This Blu-ray was released in 2013.
So it
Good.
came out in the cinema in 2012.
Yeah.
We
So
could be wrong.
We're going to be watching the Blu-ray edition, UK Blu-ray edition. You can watch along with us. Hopefully that's what we'll do. And we'll be talking through the movie. You won't be able to hear the movie. We've got it on sound. We've got it through our tasty little earphones here.
As you can see, technology.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be talking about all the little Easter eggs and things, and mostly giving our opinions. We've got a whole series of Superman graphic novels here to talk about the source material. We've got
For reference. Yeah.
internet here. We've got popcorn. We've got drinks, Superman statues, stormtroopers, beers. We've got Maltesers and Pringles. Other confectionaries are available, but they're probably the best. So, what do you reckon, Ben? Shall we just start?
Let's do it. Let's
Okay,
dominate
so
it.
everyone, you can sync up with us if you hit play in 3, 2, 1. So we've got the Warner Brothers logo.
I like the fact that it's got the Kryptonian symbols on the Warner Brothers.
What, inside it all?
Yeah.
It's like when you first... It's so reminiscent of the 89 Batman.
Just trying to figure out which one it's louder out of.
Oh, right, hang on. Let's just try that. I think it might be louder at my left. No, I'm not totally sure. Anyway, yeah, do you remember the 89 Batman? Where the opening sequence is panning around the inside symbol of the Superman, of the Batman. This is so much like that.
Yeah, very cool.
And
very cool.
It's the first time I think we saw the DC logo like that in cinema.
With the flip.
Yeah, I think so. And then this Sin copy is
That's Nolan's.
Nolan's thing, because he's producer. Is it executive producer? Producer, maybe?
You
You should know this.
He was producing something. It'll be on the back.
Yeah, well, yeah. I love this opening. I love that it's on Krypton. I should probably say I do love Man of Steel, so there's going to be a lot of love.
Yeah, let's
throughout the
prefix
movie.
this with the fact that you absolutely love this
I
film.
love Superman, I love Man of Steel, and I think there's a lot of problems I have with it, but also I do really love watching it.
So Mama L in a long. This is alien childbirth.
Yeah, and it does a lot to explain itself in this first sequence, doesn't it?
Who's actually helping her?
Well, Kelex. Now, interesting. Here's a first little bit of information. So, Man of Steel, 1986, I believe.
God, you're such a geek. Sorry.
Is it 86? Oh, no, the first issue was 94. That can't be right. I'm sure it was before that. 87 was first copyrighted.
Right.
We'll say that anyway. Man of Steel by John Byrne. In this, the opening is on Krypton, just like this. So you see, here's Krypton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see on that, you've got Krypton, you've got Jor-El, and this thing here is
Kelex.
Kelex, name dropped. Now apparently that creature there is referenced later on.
Is it?
As well. Now there's do you remember in the Smallville fight?
Yeah.
There's the large man.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he is a scientist. His name is Nam-Ek, and he is big like that because he combines his DNA with those creatures. That roaring shout thing. Yeah. Little Easter egg for you.
Nice.
Sorry, going back to the story. So what we got going on here?
So Jor-El is
Russell
basically
Crowe,
appealing to the council
Yeah.
of Krypton that we need to escape, basically.
I love Russell Crowe's Jor-El. Like, born to play the role, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I like the fact as well that he can actually remember lines and not read them off of a nappy like Marlon Brando did in the 78 Superman film, what have you.
Straight into the action. So you're in sci-fi. It starts as a sci-fi movie. I remember when I first saw this, I remember coming out thinking it's a science fiction movie. It's not a superhero movie.
Enter Zod. Did you hear that, by the way, as well? That was like the world engine noise.
Oh, was it? Nice. Okay. So it's a very Kryptonian sound. All of their power suits are CGI.
Are they really?
They are.
No wonder the film took so long to come out after it was filmed.
I wonder if these are or not. I'm not sure if these are. These might actually be costumes. But later on, they are definitely.
Okay.
On Earth. Feora.
Yeah. She's pretty cool. I like her. I like the fact they didn't go with again a reference to the old Superman, Superman 2.
Yeah.
I like the fact they didn't go with her, whatever she was called.
She might have been Pharaoh.
No, I don't think she was. I don't think she was.
Okay.
Because the big guy who didn't speak was Non.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's interesting how Zod isn't portrayed as a laughable, egomaniac, evil guy in this. He genuinely has his own reasons for doing what he's done. He's been born for this.
Yeah, because all Kryptonians are genetically engineered, aren't they?
Yeah. And so the reason he's born is to protect Krypton by all means in a military fashion. Mm-hmm. Here's a bit of Keelix coming in again. Really love the design. Really love it. I know there's going to be a lot of just me saying I really love this, but the sort of pin, you know.
Yeah, it's like one of those things
wheels.
you just put your face in when you were a kid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
For a scientist, Jor-El is a total badass, isn't
He's
he?
a little bit too much, yeah. I feel like Keelix maybe should have done all that.
Yeah.
If it was being true to him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The fact that she can also be used as a phone.
Yeah. Have to really launch.
Mm-hmm.
Now this bit. I remember that this music is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now,
Screen flare as well.
Yeah. There's a bit coming up in a minute. You're going to see the moon in the background shattered. Okay? And that's important.
Okay.
That's Wegthor's remains. Now, actually, that might be a bit further on after he's stolen the Codex.
Codex.
Yeah.
Cryptex, almost called it. I know what I meant.
You feel so much for this character, this little winged dog thing. And he's only in it for like a minute. But like, when he gets hurt, you're like, oh, it sucks.
I have to say, this as well all looks so amazing.
It does. I really love the Krypton stuff. I love that they've reimagined it to look different. It doesn't look like anything in these comics. You know, we've got Birthright here, we've got Man of Steel, All-Star Superman, Superman's Secret Origin. It's all different.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. It's just a different version of it. It's kind of like the 21st century version of it. And Keelix is with him all the time, just following around, yeah. Love this line. You know, Keelix is warning him about the law, and he's like, nobody cares. The world is going to end.
He can hold his breath for a damn long time, can't he?
It's Kryptonian, it's Jor-El.
Yeah, fair enough.
Although they are starting to red sun, aren't they?
Yeah. So we shouldn't be able to do this. But this is good. It's a bit Matrixy, this, isn't it? So this is all the birthing chambers, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very eerie.
Spider-like creatures.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're supposed to think.
Well, it's just like this is like one massive, great big amniotic sac.
Yeah.
That he's going for a swim in. But
it's creepy, but like at the same time, you know that that's their world, so you kind of are okay with it. And then you see this kind of weird skull thing that's not explained.
Is this supposed to be like the first Kryptonian or something?
I guess so. Yeah, that's why I kind of got from it. Or like it's a.
Or a prehistoric Kryptonian. Kryptonian?
Yeah,
Kryptonian.
It's some sort of perfect DNA, Kryptonian DNA map for him. He's not very gentle with that.
I was going to say, he just smashed the crap out of it, didn't he?
I also like the suits that they're going on, so that's sort of an explanation for why Supes gets his suit later on.
And his suit here is very much like what Superman's suit, or the Man of Steel suit, almost turns out to be come the end, with just a darker chest symbol, isn't it? Lighter chest symbol.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfectly done. So that kind of explains away how that suit comes. It doesn't explain the cape, but you know, everyone likes capes.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about this a lot, and obviously we're going to, but I just love the action in it. I think the effects are great. It's got a great pacing. Zack Snyder can do action so well, and that really is encouraging. This
is the first time that I've seen the use of zooming in quickly on something that's happening in some kind of like spacey sci-fi film that I've actually I've been okay with.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw it, I think it was in Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah, they do that a lot.
They did it when the ships are in space, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people raved about it, but I hated it. But in this, it was cool.
Did you see the moon in the background?
Yeah, split up moon.
Okay, so that's Wegthor's remains. So Wegthor is a moon of Krypton.
Right.
Now, let me read this little thing to you. Where's the characters? Jax who's in it later, who's a scientist who takes Superman's blood later on.
Oh yeah.
He did experiments with nuclear weapons, and he blew up that moon. And the effect of him blowing up the moon was the reason why Kryptonians no longer did space travel. that was condemned after that.
Ah.
So that's put in there, and that's from the comics as well. So Jack Zero is a sort of a twisted scientist who's already in the, what do you call it? In the place where they get they're frozen.
The Phantom Zone.
Yeah, he's already in the Phantom Zone now. So that's why you don't see him get trapped later.
I can't wait to talk about the Phantom Zone in a minute when they all get sent there.
The penis. Yeah.
Penis Zone.
Yeah, the penis zone. I'm going to open the Maltesers.
That's because they're yours.
And the Pringles.
Dominate the Pringles.
You can dominate the Pringles as well.
I will dominate the Pringles, don't worry.
Okay, there they are. Open. Take that out.
I like it, he's put on his smoking jacket now and he's just walking around, you know.
He got in and just chilled out a bit.
Yeah, you've got to chill out.
Hopefully far enough away from the mic, that's not going to bother everyone.
It'll be fine. Now, around when they were promoting the film, Russell Crowe was on Graham Norton along with Lois Lane.
Oh, Amy Adams.
Amy Adams,
yeah.
And Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And apparently the kid who plays young Clark, young Kal-El,
Yeah.
was very well endowed.
The baby?
The baby, yeah.
Oh, there's a shot of his penis later.
Yeah, apparently he's got like a, well, it was like a third arm, let's just put it that way.
Wow.
And obviously, baby was probably got a bit cold, so pissed all over him several times.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
This is an interesting again. So this is a change from me, from what I know of Superman, and I believe from most of the comics, the fact that the codex in itself existing.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's being embedded in his DNA.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So basically, all of Krypton's past and possible future is within his cells.
Yes. And it creates this little...
Kryptonian USB stick.
Kryptonian USB stick, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the Kryptonian USB stick.
Yeah.
I do like the music. I think I got a bit cut up, actually, during this. When I saw it in the cinema.
This is geek confession. I listened to the soundtrack from this quite a lot.
Oh, it's good. The soundtrack's great.
It really is good. And it's coming through here really good. Really powerful. When his mum is crying there and he's got to send him off. Yeah. Oh, this is heavy stuff now. I don't know how we talk over this, really. I tell you what, there's a YouTube video. I implore you all to go and search for it. And I can't remember what it's called, but you'll find it. But there's a guy doing a thesis about Man of Steel and how pretty much everything in it is a sexual object.
Okay, really?
So, he's putting on his battle suit because, scientists have battle suits.
Yeah, damn right they do.
That's all CGI. But how that building there is like a penis and it's firing Superman into space, ejaculating into Earth where he's birthed and he's born, and Earth is the mother.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily buy into all of it. I'm sure there's some element to it, but
I guess
sort of all like white spraying out as it goes out. I mean, it's a bit of a joke, but it is possible that's true.
Well, then whoever came up with that is a bit of a dick.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's interesting when you look at it. I mean, there's the theory about Top Gun, isn't it? That it's like all gay.
Yeah.
But it's not. It was not intended to be that, but that's how people said it. Love this fight. So Jor-El, like you said earlier on, is a badass.
Total badass. And he can wipe the floor with Zod, who's the perfect soldier.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So Jor-El is a bit of a heretic here, really. Like, he claims that Kryptonians should be able to interbreed. Really.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Zod wants to keep it pure.
So there's a bit of a Nazi sort of thing going on here.
Absolutely.
There's a bit of a...
Heresy,
yeah, he screams at him, so... So the guys from We Through Geeks were saying that Zod is the actual hero of this film.
Yes. Yes, they were. Yeah. I'll mention some of the other stuff they said when it gets to that point in the film.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they believe, or one of their guys, I think Geek J, I think he said he was called.
Yeah.
Firmly believes that Zod is the hero of this movie. I like it.
I suppose all movies you can look at from a different point of view, but it's that thing we were saying earlier where he truly is. He believes what he's doing.
Yeah.
and he has just cause for everything he's doing. I've got to dropping bloody.
But
popcorn.
he's born to believe
exactly. Yeah.
what he's doing is right.
Yeah. So he's not. It's not like it's not
Right
his
and wrong
fault.
is a point of view. Basically.
Absolutely. Although, in this case, he's saying. So Jor-El is saying, Krypton is doomed. Everyone is going to die.
Yeah.
And actually, Jor-El is saying, well, if everyone's going to die, we better send the Codex away.
Mm. So Krypton's got a future.
Yeah. I wonder why no one believes Jor-El.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because they're such an ancient society that they're like, nothing's going to destroy us. Look how amazing and awesome we are, you know?
Oh, and then Jor-El dies.
Okay, did you hear that then?
Yes.
Same noise as when the world engine comes on.
So it's a cue for us to know that something terrible is happening.
Interesting.
So as an audience member,
The
we
first
hear
time you
that
heard it is when Zod walked in. Second time you hear it is when Zod kills Jor-El. Nice.
Something terrible's happening when that comes on screen. Interestingly, I just thought this. The Jor-El's wife, Kala's mum, I can't remember her name. Lara, thank you. Has gone on to play Kingpin's wife or girlfriend in Daredevil.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, I knew I heard.
She's very good.
What's this? Unable to play from here. What does that mean?
I think the Xbox thinks I said something because I said she played the character.
I see.
Just trying to do some voice control stuff there.
Okay, so now, just when you think that they're going to destroy Baby Cal, the rest of the Kryptonian army who are not going off on one, come in and save the day.
This is sort of a nice sort of cinematic thing, isn't it? Like we aren't shown that Zod is. Sorry, it's words probably. As far as we're concerned, Zod is the military up until this point, and then like, oh, actually, no, there's a war going on. You know, you saw the little battle going on before, but you didn't quite know whether he was
it's
just
like
wiping
civil
everyone
out. For Krypton, isn't there?
He is so crazy as Zod, isn't he? Michael Shannon.
He is a great actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen. Oh God, what's it called? Boardwalk Empire.
I haven't, but I'm aware of it.
He's in that. He plays like an FBI agent, but not.
Okay.
Same kind of thing that Elliot Ness was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A treasury agent, I think he is.
Yeah. Oh, that's how they.
And he's brilliant in that. He's like a. What is he in that? He's like a repressed religious lunatic, basically, and he is absolutely brilliant. And he's got a really interesting character arc throughout all the whole season, all seasons.
He has the this sort of Al Pacino thing.
I know.
Right, how many times he says I will find him?
I will find him. Yeah. I've got one so far.
But he has that Al Pacino thing of going from 0 to 100 in a second. Great, you know? I will find him. Yeah. So,
okay,
this is
encase them in the Phantom Zone penises.
Yes. Which get fired up into the Phantom Zone womb.
Honestly, I don't know. I do not know who designed these things and how the studio let them get away with it. But it's so. Look, for Christ's sake!
I know.
It's a massive. It's a massive cock.
It is. Many massive cocks firing into space.
Jesus Christ.
So that's, I think, why that guy's theory that I was talking about on YouTube ties into that. I still really like the design of the sort of the stuff that they're encased in as it comes up and sort of freezes them, sort of like a gel, but yeah, maybe not the actual final design.
I'm going to call it carbonite.
Carbonite, yes. Yeah. This is the modern version of carbonite, yeah.
This is great. The huge sun in the background.
Yeah. And I like the ship taking off. It feels like it takes a lot of effort, which suggests again that they aren't in space travel. Yeah, and it has weight. And then there's the Phantom Zone projector, which they get.
I love the fact as well that the Phantom Zone the entrance to it is a triangle, just like it was in.
In the 70s one.
The 70s one.
Yeah, it's great.
Amazing.
There's a lot of organic stuff in the Kryptonian.
Technology. Their technology is like that, isn't it? Interesting.
This is Lara touching Jor-El's suit, missing him.
Yeah, please finish that line. Yeah.
And the planets coming down around them. Really great effects for the planet being destroyed. I kind of hadn't. I didn't know what it would look like, knowing that they would show Krypton blow up.
Did we actually find out why Krypton blew up?
I think Gerard does say later on in the movie, so we'll maybe listen out for that. But I love all these sort of eruptions going straight up into the sky. So it just shows that the whole planet is just ripping itself apart. It's so much pressure that all the lava from
something about its core becoming unstable, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Music, there's sort of like just this string going on while Lara's blown to shreds, and then you pan back and the whole
just like cracks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just cracks in the middle and just goes, oh no, too much, boom. Interesting, they went with sort of a blue light there. And I know all the Phantom Zone stuff is blue, and all the technology's got that blue element. I thought they would go more of a green because of Kryptonite. They're meant to be shards of his planet.
Again, have they ever explained why Kryptonite is green?
I'm sure they have in the comics, different versions of it, but I don't know really.
Okay.
So, sorry, my other half is just texting me.
Aww.
Can't talk. Kal-El's landing on Earth. Right, cool. So he's just crash landing. Now, I want to talk about the film. A little bit interesting here. This is the first jump in time that happens.
Yeah.
And then it starts to do lots of time jumps throughout the movie.
Yeah. It's very, up to that point, it's very linear, isn't it? And then bounces around in time a bit.
Later on, it's the bit where it then becomes linear again is when Zod comes into it again. Zod is the linear storyline in this.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
In terms of Superman, we see him bounce through time as the story is better because you see he learns from one thing because of that happened in his past and what have you.
Yeah.
What do you think about him being on this boat? It's a bit of a weird one. I don't ever imagine him being on a boat.
No.
Because
his beard is really fake as well.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Kansas is landlocked, right?
Yes.
So I don't ever imagine him on a boat.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Why is he on a boat?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
This is quite cool as well when he's...
I like the saving bit. I like the bit when he's on fire, but he sort of kind of rips his shirt off.
Yeah.
And he's swimming
fast. You see him jumping through the waves almost, don't you?
He jumps up there, yeah. There's a little bit in here coming up which is terrible CGI.
Is that?
Yeah, this is great. When he crushes the door and he pulls it back and then he's on fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, but he's not on fire. And all these guys are like, what the hell? But just go with it because they need to survive.
Yeah.
But there's a bit coming up where he leaps from the helipad and catches a thing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It looks really cheesy, but the rest of it's great.
It does look a little bit like when Peter Parker's running across the rooftop in 2002 Spider-Man. Some of the CGI in that when he jumps from building to building is terrible.
Yeah, here it comes, right here. He's actually, I think the building's falling down. Sorry, the tower's falling down.
Yeah.
So I need to jump over there.
Save it.
Yeah, and wait for it. Here it comes. Here it comes. And whoop! I don't know. It just looked a little bit like
it's a bit too much of a skip, isn't it?
Yeah, like I don't know. I didn't like the body movement in it, but this bit's great. Henry Cavill is superb.
He is,
Superman.
Isn't he? He really is
so good. Like the first time there, you see him struggling with holding something up. For me, that's great because it shows how strong this Superman is.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the source material. We've got Man of Steel sort of depowered him a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah, a little bit. Huh. The comic book. Sorry, it brought him back down to earth a little bit.
I don't think I've ever read that.
It's very good. I'll lend it to you. So that depowered him a little bit. You got something like All-Star Superman, which is set at the end of his life,
where he's basically the strongest he's ever going to be.
Exactly. There's a bit here where he's testing his strength, and he's lifting the equivalent of 200 quintillion tons. Now that's obviously Grant Morrison talk, but he's super strong there.
I love this.
So we had a time jump again here now.
Yeah.
So Clark's back in the water. He's falling in the water, and has he passed out because of the strain?
I think so. Yeah.
So again, telling you how strong he is.
Yeah.
Then we go back in time more to see his powers evolve.
As he's a kid, he's seeing like his X-ray vision and his hearing. This is cool. I like this when his mum turns up and says, concentrate on my voice. It's really sweet, you know. It's lovely. There's an awful lot of this actually that we've just read in Superman American Alien.
Yeah.
From what's his face?
Max Landis.
Max Landis.
His parents are so important in creating who he is.
Yeah. Oh, red eyes.
So use red eyes. I like I remember going into this movie saying, all I want is some friggin' laser eyes, and I got it straight away. I was like, just give me laser eyes, because in Superman Returns you'd have heat vision from his eyes, and it was cool, but it was like you saw ripples of heat.
Yeah.
I just wanted some frickin' laser eyes.
Give me some goddamn laser eyes, man.
But okay, so Mark Kent is here now. Martha.
The world's too big.
Yeah. And
Bless
she's got such a soft voice, and she brings him down. His parents are so important in this, and I go back to something like, say, Jeff Johns' Secret Origin. In this, his mum and dad are just so integral to the story, and I think they play them so well in this film. They're important.
I have to say, masterstroke number 1, casting her as his mum.
Diane Lane. Yep.
Number 2, casting Kevin Costner as Pa Kent.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. You know, do you know what I think? All the casting in this film is absolutely
spot on.
Spot on.
Yeah.
It's done completely right. I know there was a very small amount of internet outrage. Oh, hang on, very quickly, because it's in the water here.
Yeah.
I love the how it should have ended version of this film.
Where Aquaman
comes up and goes, "You're thinking about your past, your childhood. You're thinking about your childhood."
Yeah.
Justice League. That's away. That's brilliant. No, but
what was the outrage?
Oh, the outrage about Lois Lane not having dark hair.
Oh, that's so.
I know,
that's
it's
nothing.
crazy. It's like going back to 2005 when Matey was cast as James Bond. Everyone was like, James Bond doesn't have blue eyes and blonde hair. And by the way, how buff is Cavill here?
You watch Cavill here, you're like, man crush.
Yeah.
Man crush. But let me just say this:
the guy is built, isn't he?
He's a thief.
He is a thief. Yeah, but come on, he's Superman. He probably, in a bit where you don't see,
gave them some money.
Came back and gave them like the clothes back plus extras.
Mm.
You know, I don't know. Maybe he flew in at the speed of sound and gave Mrs. whoever it was a super orgasm.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I went there with that then, didn't I?
You did. Yeah.
Oh, I want to get another beer. Don't pause it. Keep it going. Just
Are
talk.
You sure?
Yeah. Talk about yourselves.
Okay. So the time jumping here is because of his memories. That's what it is now. So we suddenly jump back again to remembering the bus that he was the school bus because he just saw it.
Love this bit. And in this bit as well, you see Lana Lang.
You do?
Yeah. Love me a bit of Lana Lang.
It's interesting that Pete Ross is a big guy in this. Because I think of Pete Ross as kind of like a sporty dude, but they kind of changed him a little bit. But it's good that they become friends because I'm just talking to myself now. It's a bit crazy. Oh, love that effect. The sign comes out saying stop. And obviously they can't stop. They're hitting the water. I was just talking to myself completely.
That's all right.
I was saying, as it goes, two things. As it goes over the bridge, the sign on the side of the bus comes out that says stop. And it's kind of like ironic because the bus obviously can't stop because it's like falling into water. That's a great little effect. It's also interesting that Pete Ross, I think of Pete Ross as being A, his closest friend, and B, like quite a sporty guy. And they kind of changed him in this. Like he's a bit of an arse.
Yeah.
But I like that he sort of has grudging respect for him and likes him later on.
It sort of would have been better if the guy who was bullying him, not better, possibly would have made more sense if the guy bullying him would have been like a jock from the high school or something like that.
Yeah.
That would have made a bit more sense to me. But it works fine.
Maybe that's too much of a trope. Maybe it's too much of a stereotype. So that's Lana Lang, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And she sees Clark do that. Now we lead into
again as well. This kid looks so much like
Henry Cavill.
As a young man. It's brilliant. So good. And he throws him up here, doesn't he?
Yeah, yes, who saves
just like explodes out of the water with him.
There's a lot of water going on in this. More than I would have thought. Actually, thinking back on it. There's a lot more water scenes in it than I imagine Superman ever being in. Now, this scene coming up where we see Kevin Costner as Pa Kent for the first time. Jonathan Kent. Fantastic casting, like you said.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
But also, I love his telling off of Clark.
Yeah.
Because you see it from both sides. You really do. You're like, you've got to bloody hide it, for Christ's sake. Yeah. And he's like, well, was I supposed to let him die? What? And he's like, I don't know. You're right. I don't know. It's really good. Like
he's chastising him, and he knows that he
can't chastise him.
He can't chastise him because really he did the right thing.
So there's a bit. Let me spot that. There's a bit coming up, which is directly from this book. So this is Superman: Secret Origin. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. There's a bit where he's telling them off here. Jonathan's telling them off. And in this book, at the beginning, Clark accidentally breaks Pete's arm when they're playing football, American football.
Oh.
And so he's like, I don't know what to do. What was I supposed to do? And they're driving home, and he's telling them off and says, look, you've got to hide these powers and stuff. And at this point, Clark doesn't know he's an alien. As this Clark doesn't know yet.
Right.
So now, Jonathan's about to show him the ship in this one. And then some more things happen, so he sets fire to the school accidentally with his eyes and things. And then they have a conversation over dinner, and Jonathan says, right, it's time, Arthur, we've got to tell him now. So they go to the barn, and they open it up, and they see the ship, and at first, Clark's like, well, this is so cool, and then Jor-El pops out, and starts explaining that your name's Kal-El, and you are from Krypton, you're not from here.
Is this Jeff Johns?
This is Jeff Johns.
I might need to borrow
Yeah,
this.
it's brilliant, it really is. And then there's a bit where he starts getting angry about it. He's like, no, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. And he runs out into the field, and Jonathan runs after him. And he says, I don't want to be different. I want to be Clark Kent. I want to be your son. And Jonathan leans out and says, Clark, you are my son. Straight into this movie.
Very good.
And actually, when you read it in here and you hear Kevin Costner saying it, it's a real like, oh my god, like it really like touches you.
It is. It's a heartbreaker.
It really is. So this it's almost directly from this scene, you see, and they take it out, and then there's the 8,000-year-old
Kryptonian USB stick.
Yeah.
8,000-year-old backwards compatible.
Backwards, yeah, exactly. Sorry, apologies. Yeah. This always annoys me. This line where he's saying, "I took it to a metallurgist in Kansas State," because at that point, surely that metallurgist went, "Where the hell did you get this from?
Yeah,
What is it?"
I'm calling the authorities.
Yeah.
You've got something that shouldn't exist.
Also, this is really cool. Can I add it to the periodic table, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that bothers me a little bit.
Plot reasons.
Yes, it is.
Maybe
plot.
that guy died of a heart attack.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe,
saw
yeah.
that it didn't exist on the periodic table.
The dialogue leading up to, I just want to be your son. No, I can't pretend I'm your son. He says, I'm your son. The dialogue leading up to that is a little bit clunky. It's a little bit explaining to him you're from space, whereas actually, there are other ways of doing it. Saying, look, it's a spaceship. We found you.
Yeah.
This was in it.
Yeah.
You know.
I get it.
Good kid, good actor. You are my son. Oh, yeah. I mean,
the way
you've got kids. I mean, how does that affect you?
Oh yeah, it was a choke. It's a choker. The whole thing it's really difficult. The fact that the parents say goodbye to their son and then they die.
Yeah.
The fact that he's found out that he's from a different planet and he just wants to be a normal kid and he can't be.
There's a lot of metaphors going on in here, isn't there? There's a lot of metaphors about being young, growing up, changing.
Yeah.
So then we've jumped through time again now. So now it's Clark after having been on the boat. So he's got to leave that world because he's just shown himself to be
a little bit stronger than he should be.
So now he's working in a bar somewhere. But weirdly, near the Kryptonian ship that's crashed.
Yeah, I don't know how he's figured that out.
That's plot device there for you.
Wow.
Because there's these army guys talking about it in the bar.
Yeah.
I guess I would like to think there's a bit in there where he's kind of drawn to it.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
And you've got some classic jerks in the bar.
I love it. This.
Oh, the bit where he pushes against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
the guy with little man syndrome stands up and he's still a good 4 foot shorter than Clark.
There's a bit just coming right this second where he just goes to hit him, and just nothing moves. He doesn't move.
It's like a squirrel trying to push over a tree.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. That bit. Clark doesn't move at all. Now, I wouldn't go out and smash up the truck quite like he does.
I think he's got a lot of anger issues, hasn't he?
What?
An awful lot of repressed rage going on because
he's always had to hold it back.
He's always had to hold it back.
Yeah, and that plays in later on when you see him put the suit on and actually fly, and he's got that massive grin on his face.
Yeah.
That you see that later on, that repressed rage.
There's another scene as well when he's a little bit older, and no, hang on, he's flashes back to when he was a kid. But he's a little bit older than he was when he found out.
When he crushes the pipe, the fence.
When he's being bullied.
Yeah.
And
see, that's too much. That's for this film. That's sorry, cutting.
No,
that little bit in there where the truck is smashed up. Questions would be asked there. It's too much. I think they've just gone over the top in the movie. Maybe just make it so that it's like smashed on its side or something. Or I don't know, but
upside down would be.
Yeah,
would be
maybe.
okay,
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you were saying about when he's.
Well, again, he's fighting the urge to just flick the kid that's bullying him away into the next state or whatever it is, and he doesn't do it. So, like the first time that he hits a Kryptonian later on in the film, super punches.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal because it's the first time he's ever been able to do that.
Okay, so we've got the introduction of Lois Lane here.
Yeah, well done, lovely Lois Lane.
Now, interesting here. I'm going to throw some things at you. You hopefully correct me if I'm wrong. Right. Amy Adams was in Smallville. The guy she's meeting right now, who was from Battlestar Galactica, was in Smallville. And in Arrow. The Dr. Emil...
Hirsch? No.
Emil... That's going to annoy me that I don't know it. Is played in Smallville by the other guy who's the tech operator in this. Coming up.
Oh, okay.
So there's lots of Smallville. Emil Hamilton.
There you go. It'll be have an H.
Yeah.
I think Emil Hirsch might be an actor. Anyway, yeah.
So the chap coming up in a second, I can't remember his name. There's a lot of arrogance, a lot of dick measuring going on.
Yeah. Links to Smallville, they're nice as they are. I don't think they should overdo that. No. Well, Smallville was okay, but I think it was a massive missed opportunity, Smallville.
This chap here.
Yes.
Played Emil Hamilton in Smallville.
Yes, he did.
Nice nod away. But yeah, I know what you mean. Smallville was it was a guilty pleasure by the end.
The bit that upset me the most, the season that upset me the most, is when they introduced Doomsday.
Oh yeah,
it was just so
I actually forgot about that completely.
Bad. Let's not go into it anymore.
No. I'm gonna pour myself some Diet Coke in my glass.
I should have my only glass.
You should really.
That's
right. You got your Coors Light. It's fine. Other beers are available. Okay, so there's this ship. There's something going on in space.
Yes.
Not in space. Sorry, in the ice.
So. I like the fact that they've not. The Fortress of Solitude in this is an actual thing that exists. It's not something that just grew out of the ice.
Yeah, and it's interesting because what happens by the end? I'd like to discuss that with you at the end as to what has he still got a Fortress of Solitude at the end?
Oh, that's a good point.
It's the ship that Zod flies out on.
Yeah, interesting.
Now, Clark's there, and he's helping out. How did he get that job? And why did he choose that day to go out and inspect the ship? And surely his super hearing would allow him to know that Lois Lane was following him.
Maybe because it's so windy and he's not been in an environment like this before, he hasn't got it honed that well.
Okay. Good little plot. Yep.
That's my explanation.
Sure.
See, that looks dangerous. That ice crevice that she's crawling along the side of looks very high and very dangerous.
Oh, I love this use of laser eyes, though.
Yeah, laser eyes the crap out of the side of that mountain.
But it's almost like he's not even really laserizing. It's almost just heat eyes, almost. And I love the way they glow afterwards. Carry on glowing around.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it hurts him.
Yeah. We talked about this the other day, didn't we? I like the fact that it sort of comes up out of... from somewhere else, and it just the eyes are just the outlet, basically. So yeah, that's been in the ice for 8,000 years.
So we know this later on. We'll see that Jor-El is going to talk to us about how they sent ships out, Kryptonians sent ships out to colonize different planets, and this is one of those ships that's landed here.
Yeah.
Some interesting stuff coming on in a second. So there's a Kelex-like thing here that's kind of a security bot.
Yeah, like a Guardian type thing. Isn't it? Yeah.
But
I do think I have to say that when this thing attacks him, it's because some Hollywood executive said, "You know what we need here? An action beat."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's a little bit pointless, yeah. Because he could very easily, so that he takes off the 8,000-year-old
USB stick,
and he puts it into the machine because obviously it fits in there. I mean, I'm not. That's not me being ridiculous. It does fit, and obviously he would go. He would go. Hang on, I'm in a Kryptonian ship, and I've got a Kryptonian stick.
8,000 years ago, they perfected USB technology. They don't need to update it. It's fine. It works as it is.
Sure. Okay.
They've USB'd themselves as much as they need to.
But you're right. That could just as easily have been him putting it in there. But then you've got to explain the putting it in there. Oh my gosh. You've got to explain Lois Lane getting hurt later on, but I suppose he could just have heard her.
Yeah.
And stumble in on her. But there's a nice product placement of Nikon there.
Yeah.
You get some Windows phones and stuff coming up later on.
Nikon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nikon? What'd you say Nikon for? What, are you American?
You show your face. Okay. So we've got Ghost Dad.
Ghost Dad.
You saw me.
Oh yeah, my Ghost Dad.
So Ghost Dad wandering the halls. Now there's a bit coming up where he sees the caskets. Sorry, not caskets. They're sort of like chambers.
Yeah.
And one of them is open.
Yes. Now I've read this, and I don't agree with it.
Here we go.
Okay.
So they're all dead inside because they've been there too long.
Yeah.
They can perfect USB technology, but they can't perfect cryostasis.
How did they die though? Because surely. Okay, so this one that's open. This says it could be Supergirl, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Brainiac.
Yeah, but maybe Brainiac's a bit too much to do on this. Also, Brainiac is in different versions. Brainiac is one time, Lois getting smashed in the abdomen. And one time,
They're just saying a lot of really
hey, I can't help it. The film's doing it, right?
like sexy stuff that you're not meaning to say.
Oh, yeah. Brainiac is Kulan. He's not Kryptonian.
He's what?
Kulan.
Wow, I thought he was a Kryptonian scientist.
No. In some versions of it, he's a Kryptonian AI. And it's been changed now that he's a different type of he's a different race. So what are we talking about here?
Just quickly, I like the fact that she struggles, and then he sort of gives her a soothing look, and she's like, "Okay, yeah."
Yeah, it's like, "Hey, I'm good looking. Check me out."
I'm good looking.
And she's like, "Oh right, oh yeah, you're good looking. That's fine. Everything's okay now." Some crazy weird guy with laser eyes who just beat the crap out of a robot that just smashed in my side is okay to heal me with his laser eyes.
He's cauterizing the wound there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Let him off. We'll let him off.
Okay. So anyway, so go back to the open casket and that. So apparently in the prequel comic that was released for this, that's in canon, it is Supergirl.
Typical.
But so she's not going to be in the movies. But do you know what? They can rewrite that whenever they want because it's not in the movie, and so they can just say, "Oh yeah, that wasn't canon." They can do that anytime they want. So now he's taken off.
So what the hell happened to Supergirl then? 8,000 years ago.
Who knows? Unless she started the Wonder Woman, Amazonians.
Oh.
There we go. Maybe. I love this. So it's going back to that reminiscent look from Krypton, all that sort of blue light. All just standing around, not knowing what to look at.
There's an awful lot of lens flare in this that I don't remember.
Yeah. We're now watching it. Have you noticed? We're gripped into it. We're not talking about it. We're now just watching it. Like, hey, this is good. This is some good stuff.
I haven't watched it for. I think last time I watched it was 2 Christmases ago with my son, and my daughter, and my wife.
What did they think of it?
And my son loved it. My wife was sort of scanning in and out, and she was like, well, why is that happening? Who's that? And I was
right?
like,
Yeah. If you watched it, yeah.
And my daughter was like, oh,
right, okay.
It's just a bit where he flies now.
She's a teenager now, isn't she?
Yeah. She was okay. I think she kind of enjoyed it for what it was, but it's not really her cup of tea. Yeah. So that's fine.
Well, Vic's her standing with this. We'll talk about Perry White in a second. Vic's thing of this is it's not particularly memorable for her, and I was like, fair enough, that's fine. You're allowed your opinion. Whereas I think it's fantastic. I love it. Now, Perry White, played by Lawrence Fishburne.
Burn.
Burn? Born?
I'm going to say burn. Lawrence Fishburne.
Fishburne.
I'm going to say burn. I'm
Are you
dropping
crisps
crisps
on my floor.
No.
It's fine, I'll hoover it up later. Now, I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's
brilliant.
Perfect for the role.
Yeah. Black Perry White.
But
It's
Perry
about
White
time we
is
had Black
white.
Perry White.
I don't know why they did it. I guess just because he's a good actor. Oh look, Windows Phone, product placement.
It was-
He's got a Windows Phone as well.
Yeah, well, they're obviously insane. It was going to be... Wasn't it originally? It was going to be the guy, the English comedian who went out to America and was in House.
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie was going to be Perry White, but then had to drop out for some reason. I'm sure that was the case.
That's weird. Don't like it. Lawrence Fishburne is better.
Right, I am now going to prove to Nathan.
No, I believe you. I believe you. I do believe you.
Okay.
You don't need to. Right, hang on. We're right. Okay, we're back with Kal-El Clark at the minute on the ship, which took off on its own. And there's Ghost Dad standing there all smug.
My ghost dad! That's another reference to the How It Should Have Ended YouTube video.
Right, questions.
I have many questions about this.
Right.
Go on.
Is he conscious? Does he? Because if he's an AI, why would he say to see you standing there? Lara would have loved to see you grown or whatever it is. He says
Again,
his consciousness.
I'm going back to the How It Should Have Ended video. Didn't he upload his consciousness into it? And then the mum was like, what? We'll do mine as well. He's like, there's no time! It's like that. We've got to get rid of it.
I think it's very strange that. I think they could have played this slightly differently. I feel like they could have done a nice bit of dialogue there, said, I'm not your father. I'm a computer construct of him. To say I'm his consciousness is very strange.
Doesn't give it as much emotional punch, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, so here we get the explanation. I love all this effects here. This is great, sort of.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, you get the sort of. You feel like it's being created in front of his eyes right there with all that technology that Keelex has, that sort of pinwheel stuff again.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, he's talking
Scout
about
ships, one of thousands
scout
tossed
ships,
into the
yeah.
void.
And so
There's a world engine?
Yes, so it's foreboding to the world engine. It's so
There's that
showing
noise
you-
again?
Yeah. So showing the awful thing that happens, although for them it's a great thing because they go to planets that are uninhabitable and they make them habitable.
Kryptonian headgear is a bit weird.
It is, but
I'm
then
not going to lie.
these are very ancient people. I suppose from our point of view, the ancients used to have very exotic clothing.
Yeah.
Our ancient people had exotic clothing. You think about pharaohs, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think that's what they're kind of calling on there. What's going on?
I'm looking up. Oh, we're getting a message by Ollie.
Oh, right, Ollie's messages. This is live just in.
Lawrence Fishburne. Burn.
Born.
It's burn. You suck.
Okay. What's going on now? So this is
So basically, yeah. Genesis Chamber they're talking about now.
so this is the explanation that we didn't get early on in the film. So when we were on Krypton earlier, it didn't make a lot of sense to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's saying.
This is where all Kryptonians are grown. Chambers like this.
So here's a question for you, Ben.
Yeah.
Are those? Is that chamber right there able to work?
That's a good question. I would
Because-
say it looks like it's a little bit offline at the moment.
But Zod comes in later as if he's going to use it.
Oh. Yeah, but then what happens to the ship later on, though?
Yeah, I know, but I'm weirded out by the fact that. Well, hang on. How do they died? The Kryptonians died in the cryostasis, but the baby things, fetuses, whatever the birthing chamber allows it to start again.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And it's pretty much impossible to kill a Kryptonian
On Earth.
on Earth. How the hell did those ones in the cryo chambers die? Unless they died before they got into Earth's
Oh, maybe.
or into our galaxy. Who knows? Hey, look.
The super suit. Here we go.
What you need to really become yourself is a super suit.
Yeah.
And there should be no capes.
Again, I have trouble with this. So there's a beautiful bit of dialogue here that he says. It's taken straight from All-Star Superman. I'm not going to find it in time, but if you guide them, they will follow you in the sun. And it's brilliant. It's a great line, and
yeah, it is. It is a good line.
But then they don't use the dialogue enough, the good dialogue enough, to just put in there. They could have said, "This suit is a Kryptonian formal suit. The cape signifies you as royalty or a great man. You should wear it to be a symbol of hope."
Yeah.
I mean, I just wrote that dialogue, but it's not in the movie.
Right.
So a lot of people, I think, going into this, watched it and was like, well, hang on, what? There's a Superman suit there?
Okay. What I would say is that obviously they had to make. Christ, am I defending this film to you?
Yeah, do it.
They had to make decisions based on the plot and where the plot was going, and the timelines that they constrained themselves to at this point of the film.
Yeah.
So, I think to have the suit there and ready to go is better than having 15 minutes of him developing
one line,
one suit.
That just be one line. So
yeah. But then, maybe the guys who wrote this, Nate, don't have the same love for Superman that you have. Begs the question, why the hell did they write it then?
Yeah.
But,
I think it was David S. Goyer, wasn't it?
Yes. Does he have the love for Superman that you have?
Maybe not. So this is him trying to fly. How do you feel about this? Great bit of CGI where he smashes through the mountain.
That is good. Again, though, Superman breaks a lot of stuff.
He does.
He doesn't seem to care.
This is definitely Superman's first day, isn't it? I mean, like, this whole movie
is
Superman's first day.
Yeah.
Because he crashes a lot. I do like that they start him out as jumping, although he gets over it in like less than 2 minutes. Whereas in the original comics, he jumped, he could leap tall buildings in a single bound. Now he's flies everywhere.
Now he just flies,
Yeah.
I like they don't explain how you can do it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be explained to me how you can do it.
I agree. But then,
I just want him to be able to do it.
What's wrong with me that I want the suit explained, but I don't want the flying explained? You're trying to figure out what's wrong with me?
No, I'm trying to. No, it's a valid point, actually, to be honest with you. It is a valid point. I like this. I like the fact that everything else is going up with him.
Yeah.
Like all the rocks are moving up. That's
I remember
good.
listening to the teaser trailer and you saw him going supersonic. And there was a sort of sonic boom behind him. Oh, I remember seeing that. It's just amazing.
It is.
The music is fantastic. Oh, there's a bit here straight from Birthright.
So
yeah. Superman Birthright here by Mark Waid.
Flying through the zebras.
Flies through the zebras. It's early on. And actually in this, when he's in it, he's not in his super suit.
I love Birthright.
That's
a great comic book.
There it is, right there. Flying with the zebras.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And there he is, flying over that was White Cliffs of Dover, I believe. He's like travelling around the world.
Wow.
So that's the point of this, I think, is that he's going so fast, he's flying around the world at super speed. Really letting loose. Like what you were saying earlier about him having that repressed anger.
Yeah. All letting go. Letting it all
that's
go.
Why he has that big grin on his face. And I think it's for us as well as an audience, because we're like,
he can turn on a dime as well, can't he?
Yeah.
But how brilliant is that?
As a shot where he turns his back and looks into space.
Yeah.
And then shoots up into space and does that sort of flyby shot, which actually is in Superman Returns as well. It's kind of like the staple you have to have.
Yeah. Got to have Superman flying at space, smiling at the camera.
It's interesting because I was thinking about this. We talked about this the other day, didn't we, about how whether you'd seen him in space much in this film. You do a few times actually. You see him. So you see him in all forms. So underwater, you see him on land, you see him flying, put him in space. I like this obsession they show of Lois Lane, because in the comics she's like that. She's like a pit bull, and she's got hold of something. She holds onto it. She goes and goes for it. And she's just been told by Perry White, drop it. This is a bad story. It's nonsense. And yet she's like, no. I'm going with this. I'm going with this. It's going to happen.
I like the fact that they don't try and hide who he really is from her, like they do in all the other normal Superman stuff.
Sure.
She figures it out because she wouldn't be fooled by a guy wearing a pair of glasses.
Yeah, there's a funny line in Superman Brainiac, which is Jeff Johns and Gary Frank again, and it's so this the first one, Superman Secret Origin, they did is the early days, and then Brainiac is sort of like when he's at his height of being Superman, and it opens with him being Clark in the Daily Planet, and they make some joke between the two of them because they're married at that point, and he's like, can't believe the glasses were falling on. And she goes like, I would have figured it out eventually. And he's like, it's like, yeah, all right. And it's quite funny, really. It's quite well done.
Can I just say, that on the front cover of Superman Secret Origin, that is Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, Superman. He draws him as Reeve. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. Gary Frank's artwork is fantastic. We're sort of deviating a little bit from the film here, but Gary Frank's artwork is incredible. I love it. I love every single page he does. I love every panel. I've met the guy, and he's a really humble, really, really nice guy, British guy. And
oh, is he?
Yeah, and he just. I saw him at Comic-Con, and I said, "Is there any chance you do a sketch for us?" You know, and he said, I said Superman because obviously I love his stuff. He's like, what? Just the head, or do you want? I said, whatever you can do for me, that's great. And he had so many orders for things that he told us that he said, "Did you pick up tomorrow if you're here tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here tomorrow." And he went to his hotel room at the end. Well, he started drawing at the beginning of that first day. Just drew all day. Went to his hotel room, carried on drawing all night. Carried on drawing all night. Came in the next day, carried on drawing, and that's just non-stop for him.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So we've jumping around the film. Let's go back to the Man of Steel. So we're back in. This is a bit weird. Now I wish this version of Clark was played by the sort of teen version. I don't think Henry Cavill looks young in this.
He's got long hair.
Yeah, he's got long hair.
It's uncombed, therefore he's a teenager.
Yeah, I know, but he's blatantly an older man. He's like 30 or something.
Yeah, he's got like 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted this to be played by the one that we see saving the bus.
Yes.
And I think that small change would have made the scene much better, because at this point, seeing Clark like that, we know what powers he has.
Yeah, that's true.
You put the kid in there and it's like, well, he would obey.
Yeah. And as well, at this point, he's just basically said to Earth Dad, "You're not my dad.
Yeah.
I can do what I want," basically. Yeah. He's like, okay, fine. Great. And then he gets killed by a tornado.
Yeah.
Now, normally, in every other Superman stuff I've seen, Jonathan Kent dies of a heart attack. He doesn't die of a tornado.
Yeah, twice I've seen him die of a heart attack. Yes, I'll give you that.
So,
why?
This I wasn't actually expecting this to happen. So when this happened, because he normally dies of a heart attack, I didn't expect it, and it was a gut punch.
It is
a good fact that he was like, no, don't.
But why does he do that?
What? Oh, because he's still trying to protect him. He's trying to protect him.
It's too much for me,
dude. This is your favourite film. And
I know.
I
know. These are my problems I have with it, because there's so much about it I love. When Jonathan dies, it is incredibly sad, but it's always going to be incredibly sad, because he's so, as I said earlier, he's so important. The parents in this are so important to Clark.
Well, they make you who you are.
Yeah.
Your parents.
But we all know that as in our real life, but I'm saying in this world.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, of course.
They realise it. It's a big deal.
Don't do it. Don't save me. Protect yourself.
And I guess the fact that he knows he's going to die, that's pretty heavy as well. Maybe that's why they've done it. Okay, so I'm talking myself around. But I personally think Clark would have saved him. Should have saved him. That's how my standing on it is. He should have saved him. Now, do you think? Sorry, you were going to say something, Cole.
Well, it's part of what makes him who he is, though. The fact that his dad sacrificed himself to protect him.
Yeah, makes him repress that all the powers and stuff. Yeah.
So, well, this is what my dad did for me, trying to do the right thing. So now I'm old enough to do the right thing.
Yeah.
What I will do for people is absolutely anything, even give my own life to save people.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't know. I think it works. In the context of this film, I think it works.
Maybe that's
I just didn't expect it. You're getting more text messages.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. No, it's Ollie sending messages in. I want to go back on that point. Do you think that's why they had Henry Cavill play him at that point? because then they had the more power when you then switch to the scene where he's with Lois, and he says, "I let my father die."
Yeah,
because
definitely.
if it was the young kid,
Wouldn't have the same impact.
There's a slight disconnect, even though you know it's the same character.
The only way they could have made it have the same impact is if you saw it went from that scene and you saw him CGI change into Henry Cavill, grow and change into Henry Cavill.
Or at least to dissolve between the two.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Something.
They don't do those things in this movie.
No,
those like the cuts in this movie, even the time cuts are just cuts. They're just straight cuts from one shot to the next. They're montage cuts.
There's no cross dissolve.
No, there's no Star Wars dissolves. No, definitely. So Lois Lane's getting sort of told off by Perry there.
Again.
This was all in the teaser trailer. Do you remember all this stuff?
Yeah.
So Martha's back at home. So can we time jump now? Well, we time jumped to now, haven't we? After the death of Jonathan.
Well, that said LexCorp on that, I think.
It does on the truck, yeah. Why does he need to hitch a ride? You don't have an answer, do you?
I don't. To feel normal? I don't know.
Maybe it is to feel normal, yeah.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Again, I like this. I like this interaction between his mum.
Yeah. The dog as well. The dog is in this.
Yeah, it's mentioned. Yeah, so the family dog.
Kent
yeah.
dog.
This is on ScreenRant.com. So the family dog apparently is a feature in the comics. I'd never really encountered him. Shelby, the dog. But for me, it would have been Crypto, the dog. Although he's sort of been come out of fashion a little bit. Crypto.
Well, it's a super dog, for Christ's sake.
It's a dog from Krypton.
Dogs in Krypton look like that great big winged thing at the beginning.
That's true. That's very true. So that's why he's not in this one.
That's right.
I suppose that was Crypto at the beginning.
Yeah, probably was.
Yeah.
He shouted a name. I wonder if he shouted Crypto.
I don't think he did, but Clark would probably have called him that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would have done.
So there's an interesting scene coming up in the trailer. So we've seen the trailer of Batman vs Superman, where Martha is talking to Clark, and she's saying something like, "Be what they want you to be, or don't. You don't owe them a damn thing."
I don't think he agrees with that statement.
I know, but it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting way of looking at it, because she is the same character. They've carried on her characterization.
Yeah.
In this, she's just like, I don't give a damn about anyone in the world. It's you that I care about.
Yeah.
Only you.
I love it when you say that and you look at me.
Yeah. Is she wrong? Is she teaching him the wrong thing? Is she following what Jonathan taught her?
She's worried about her son. Because you got to go back to, she still thinks of this super being as her baby boy. Yeah, the maternal instinct is strong.
So now we're going to jump into the straight timeline, linear timeline, because Zod is literally about to appear.
Yeah, we're about to get the message. You're not alone, aren't you?
You're going to talk about the young girl here, aren't you? Carrie Ferris.
Yeah.
Carrie Ferris.
Sister of.
Well, no. Supposedly, that's Carol Ferris.
Right.
Who is the love interest for Green Lantern, Hal Jordan.
So she's going to be in the Green Lantern Corps?
Doubtful.
Ah.
I think it's just a nod and wink. I think they put it in there just because they didn't know what was going to happen. Because this film is the jumping on point, isn't it? This is where DC and Warner Brothers said,
"Hey, fanboys."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because this is DC and Warner Brothers saying we could probably make a series, but let's just make one film and see if it's successful,
and we'll go from there.
And then they're like, well, let's just make a second film and see if it's successful, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening now. So there's another Windows Phone blatant thing here coming up.
That's what Rob was saying the other day, though, actually.
What's that?
In fact, we'll make one film and we'll see how it goes. That's what Warner Brothers are doing with their stuff. Whereas Marvel, they've gone for it with their universe, haven't they? They've not held anything back. They're like, no, this is what we're doing. They may chop and change it around a little bit.
But they didn't to begin with. Like they did Iron Man as a sort of tentative, and then that blew up, and they did more. So this is their Iron Man.
Yeah, it is.
Really. Really like that bit. Sorry, talking about mouthful, but eating popcorn. There's a bit there where he sort of zooms in with his eyes. It's really cool. So you see his X-ray vision. It's
yeah.
So here's the Windows Phone blatant advert. When Zod sends out his message, which was viral marketing. Did you remember this?
I do. Yeah,
It was great.
yeah.
It was
It
really
was
good.
very clever.
So Zod sends out his message in all the languages. I think it's really cool when you see it around the planet. Although there's an interesting point I saw. Around the planet, it's all the same time. Same time zone in all over the world.
Whatever time it is in America is the time it is everywhere, Nathan. All right.
Yeah. So he sends it out on every platform of receiving radio.
Every channel, every device, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's even on my phone, my Windows phone. It turns it around. See, look, we go to China. This would be daytime.
Well, maybe they're in a very dark place.
It would be daytime. And they go to Africa. It would be daytime. They go to Mongolia. It would be daytime.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. It's fine. It's like you said. It's just like if it was suddenly daytime, it would be. Oh, there's your Windows phone advert.
That's a Nokia. That's
Yeah.
not a Windows phone.
Microsoft phone, Nokia.
Whatever.
My name is General Zod. What do you think about this? Him coming up like this?
I
What
like
do you
this.
think
I think-
people will respond to it.
I think it's good. I take your point about it being the same time everywhere in the world, but I do like this. I like the fact that he gives them. You got 24 hours to give him up, or for this guy to surrender. I think it's clever.
He's very. He's not Superman at the minute, really, is he?
No, not at all.
It's a bit of an odd moment for him because he's kind of like taking a break. He's just spent some time with Jor-El. Why would he choose to leave Jor-El and go and see his mum?
Yeah, really, you'd think he'd just want to learn everything he could from Jor-El and keep on being practicing the flying and stuff.
Maybe he promised he'd come back to his mum after a certain time. I don't know.
Okay.
We're now just watching it again. Have you noticed?
We are just watching it. I told you this was going to happen at some points, but it's fine.
It's quite gripping. This is a good bit. This is because it kind of strays into kind of horror there a little bit.
Yeah, it does a bit. Or back into like the horror sci-fi. Type
I was going to say
genre.
back to sort of Twilight Zone-y type stuff. But it's got a good pace about it. This.
Yeah, it does. It does. We're getting to this point now, aren't we? Where he goes to he has his Jesus moment with with the priest.
Yes, that's very good. That's a very good point, and that is taken straight from this one just here. Lean forward, Nathan. So, from Superman for Tomorrow, which is written by Brian Azzarello and drawn by Jim Lee, and there's a bit in the opening of this, and what happens is in this storyline, a group of people go missing from the planet.
Lois is one of them, right?
Lois is one of them. They just disappear, and so Clark starts to lose faith in himself because he couldn't save them. He doesn't know where they are, and it opens with there's this priest in the middle of New York, and also Metropolis, I would think. Sorry, and Supes just pops down and comes in and talks to him and says, "I don't know what's going on, man. I really need some help because I'm
having doubts."
Yeah, and where is it? I can't say it. He wants to tell secrets, his other people's secrets. He can't hold it himself. He needs to give confession. He needs to gain his belief again himself. And it's straight into that movie.
There we go.
It's seen there. Oh, so this is.
He just walked into the church, and then we've flashed back in time now. And now he's getting bullied by jocks.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some other Easter eggs here. This is.
Whitman. The Sullivan.
Well, this kid is Whitman, who is in Smallville. Not the actor, but the character.
Oh, okay.
And yes, it's Sullivan's repair shop, which is Chloe Sullivan from Smallville again. So that's the impact Smallville has had on the Superman mythos.
I'll let it go.
You don't like it?
Not a fan.
Pete Ross is now his buddy. Pete Ross is suddenly a nerd because he's got his big glasses on.
Yeah, there we go. See, crushed pipe. Crushed like,
pipe.
The frustration of being not able to kill this kid.
This is a weird cutback because weird edit because Dad's alive again.
Yeah, we've just seen him die, and now he's back alive. Yeah, do you know what? I've never considered that, actually. It's a little bit...
Does it take out the impact of him dying, maybe?
A little bit, I think, yeah, possibly.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it reinforces it. I mean, let's think it through. Maybe it reinforces the fact that he's no longer with him, and he was with him when he was young. But then when he became a man, he lost him.
Mm.
He's great. He's such a great cast, isn't he? Kevin Costner as the dad.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't give a lot of respect to Kevin Costner, but I think he's great.
Why would people not give respect to Kevin Costner? He is fantastic.
I think The Postman and Waterworld.
Yeah, but all his other stuff, interesting. Both of Clark's dads have been Robin Hood.
Oh yes, they have, haven't they? Yeah, so they have. Yeah. Who was the better Robin Hood? I'm going to go with Costner.
Yeah, Costner. Yeah, without doubt. Yeah.
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 It's a nicer film.
See the priest there. The actor they've chosen even looks a little bit like the priest from this. He's got a little bit of that look about him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that on there.
I like this pose on the back, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's
Classic.
great. That's Jim
classic
Lee, yeah.
Superman, isn't it?
Look at the way that this is shot. So Jesus
Look,
is literally
I'm
on his
Jesus.
shoulder. It's like it can't say it anymore. I have been here for 33 years and I have come to save the world, and I am the saviour. It's a little bit heavy-handed.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, it's probably just set on the right tone for some of the people who haven't read all the comic books.
Okay.
You know, and they're like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I bet no one's thought about the link between him and being like a saviour, just
Yeah.
like Jesus. You know?
What's your opinion on him being Jesus? Him taking the Jesus role? Oh, I love this. Sorry, I'm gonna ask you that question again in a second.
Okay.
But this opening when he first appears with the flapping cape,
Yeah, he's just sort of
hanging
hovering
in the air. I love this shot.
Got
And
our
then
attention.
There he is, the Jesus shot with the sun over his shoulder. It's so classic, Superman. Oh, love it. We're not even talking anymore. We're just watching it.
Just watching the film.
Go back to the question. What are your thoughts on him being the Jesus figure? How do you feel about that? Because I've read some stuff online that's aggressively against it, and other stuff that's very much for it. Let me tell you my opinion and then see how you feel.
Okay.
I don't mind it at all. I'm not a particularly religious person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything against anyone that is religious. That's totally cool.
Yeah, no, it's up to people.
Each their own. Everyone should feel the way they feel and think the way they think. I have an interest in theology, though, study of religion, and I think he's an interesting Superman as a character has been put that way, and it's an interesting way of looking at it, because perhaps the Bible is a story.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that these comic books are stories.
Yeah.
And we used to read about gods, Greek gods, Roman gods, things like that. And now we read about comic book superheroes. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's our time. So okay. I don't mind it at all. But
I don't mind it. I would argue that when Superman was created in the 30s...
Yes.
They probably weren't going that way with it.
No, because there were two Jewish boys who came up with it.
Exactly. So, I think it's probably something that has been retrofitted around him as time has gone on.
I agree. Because the character has changed massively. I mean,
of course.
As all the characters. So Batman used to use a gun in the early days. He's changed a lot now.
Purple gloves!
Purple gloves. Oh, God, I hate purple gloves. So the characters do change. I'll give you that. That's fine. Love that show of strength there. So that's the bit where he breaks the handcuffs just without even thinking. He just sort of stands up, moves his arms apart. You don't even see it happen, do you? Really?
Yeah. He just moves his hands.
Yeah.
Moves his hands.
And that he's talking through the one-way glass, or two-way mirror. Is it a two-way mirror? Because normally a mirror is one way. It's a two-way mirror.
No, it's a one-way mirror because it's only a mirror one way. The other way, it's glass. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay, so he's offered himself up here.
Yeah, he's going to give himself up.
Which is another Jesus trope. He gives himself up to the Romans. He says, "Yep,"
and then comes back to save everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In the cross, on the cross, he comes down.
I know. Okay, so there are Yes, there are lots and lots of
parallels.
very blatant parallels to the Jesus story.
Also, I'm going to do more. Right?
Go on, then.
In the Bible,
Yeah.
you know about his birth and a teeny tiny bit about his youth, and then you miss about 20 years and you don't know anything. And then it starts as him as a 33-year-old man. What happens in this movie? Do you get his birth, a little bit of his childhood, and then he's a 33-year-old man?
Yeah, you do.
It's almost like they've copied something there.
Are you basically accusing David S. Goya of copying the Bible for this film?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
Yeah, completely, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know we're going to get phone calls about
That's
this?
fine.
Lots of phone calls.
Hey, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying it happened. So, okay, all right. Fiora's about to turn up with Jax-Ur. Is it Jax-Ur? No, it's Namek.
Is it?
Yeah, Jax-Ur is the scientist.
Oh, yes, okay.
I love the ship again. I'm going to go back to loving this again.
Yeah.
It's all that sort of organic, bug-like. It's like a little scaraby thing almost.
So these guys are seeing aliens for the first time and they're thinking, hey, they kind of look like us.
Yeah.
But their technology is fairly advanced.
Now, I have some questions again with you now.
Go on then.
About the powers.
Okay.
So would Fiora start having powers now, or does the mask stop her? Is it
the mask
air, or is it the sun in this?
It's the sun, isn't it?
Well, traditionally it's the sun, and it does seem later on after he's fought the World Engine that he sort of puts his hand up towards the sun and then is repowered almost.
Mm.
But in the comics, as I come back to every time, my Superman, as I like to see him, his cells are solar powered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun heals him, the sun powers him.
So at this point, Fiora should have powers.
Yeah, the whole reason for the mask thing, isn't it? It's to dull the senses to, because their senses aren't attuned like Clark's are, because he's had 33 years to develop his senses.
Okay.
Theirs are not attuned, so it takes away that sensory sort of dampener that the mask thing is.
So hang on. So would she? So does she not struggling with? Is it the air that gives him the X-ray vision and the?
No. It's just the hearing thing, I think, isn't it? I think.
I don't know.
It's the hearing and the sight. I'm sure it's
not clear, and that's one of. Okay, so that brings me to one of my major problems in this movie. Now I love this movie. I don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of Kryptonians that are in this.
Yeah, there are too many. There are way too many.
Because if you just had Zod, or Zod and Fiora and one other maybe, you could do a little bit of storyline explaining that power thing.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I think she actually just explained that then, because basically their atmosphere on that is like Krypton.
Yeah, but
and that would be
damaging. Yeah,
damaging,
but that's still just them breathing.
Yes.
So because there is like an army of Kryptonians in this, okay. Firstly, here's Zod again, and he's got a bit of grey in him. So,
hey, I've aged.
Yeah. This is brilliant. This scene, and I shouldn't be talking over too much, but where they're talking, I still haven't got my head around what causes them to have the powers or not have the powers, because surely they're in front of the sun now on the ship.
Mm.
So they should have powers on the ship.
And
if you had so it's confusing. If you had less Kryptonians, you could deal with that easier, I think. Because they wouldn't have the problem with the powers. Or maybe the screens shields them from the solar energy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think he's good at explaining it, don't you? And I'm talking over it.
I don't know. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't think he is. Not like you want him to. Anyway.
Okay. Next thing. If they had less Kryptonians, you wouldn't have to have the two endings which this film has, which is my major fault with this movie. Again, I keep saying how much I love it, but I keep finding faults. There are two endings. There is the battle against the World Engine and the Kryptonians, and then there's the battle against Zod.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Two endings. That's too much. Anyway.
What's this all about?
So they're mind probing him right now. To understand
probing
him, yeah. To understand his how he's lived and try and find his secrets. They're probably literally just trying to find the Codex.
Ah, of course.
But in doing so, they're explaining the storyline. So Kryptonian blowing up released them from the Phantom Zone, yeah. I really like the black suits.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're a little bit like the suit that Superman wore when he came back
From Death of Superman, yeah.
from just after Death of Superman, yeah.
And in this dream sequence, that's a bit of sci-fi hokum. I love that. The Phantom projector, we changed it into a hyperdrive. Shh. Don't ask how we
Don't
did
ask
it.
how we
Don't
did
ask.
it.
We just
I've
did
got
it.
no idea. It just happened.
But I suppose you had Jack Zur, who's the scientist, who would be able to do that.
I guess.
Again, you could have said a scientist came out with this. Anyway, Clark is wearing, in a minute, a black Superman suit.
Yeah, now I never saw that actually. You're the one who actually told me that.
Yeah.
I always thought it was just
The lighting.
just the lighting, but because the suit is actually
It's black.
Yeah, but the normal suit, when he's wearing the normal suit, because it's so dull.
Yeah.
The colours are so dull.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I think they've changed that for Batman vs Superman.
I would
in all
hope
the
so.
trailers, it's much brighter.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because in this, it's almost trying to be gritty,
Yeah.
and so he's wearing a t-shirt at the minute. But in a second, he turns around and he's wearing a Kryptonian suit like Zod's, which is black. That's the World Eater landing there in the dream sequence, which gives you a little foreboding again what it will do. And you're talking about the codex. This is a nice way for me, I think, in my opinion. You're just watching it, aren't you?
I am. I'm watching it. No,
It's
fine.
a
No,
nice
we're doing
way.
commentary.
It's a nice way of getting over the exposition. It's a nice way of telling the story. It's like, well, we're inside your mind, so I can do whatever I want now, and I can show the world exploding and dying.
Which
so
is what it does here. Yeah.
So the thing fires over him, the shockwave, and then suddenly he's wearing this suit, which is this black suit. And I don't want to talk about it too much because it is just this tiny moment, but it is a black suit.
I'm looking.
You're looking. See, you
God,
could.
yeah, it is, isn't
you
it?
could believe it was a lighting of his blue and red, but it's not. It's a black suit.
It's totally a black suit.
You can buy a statue, a figurette of him falling into these skulls. I remember in the trailer seeing this, the bit where he's like falling back and his hands falling into the skulls. You're like, what is going on?
Yeah, mega dark.
Yeah, it's black, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You'd think it was backlit because black because of the backlighting, but it is definitely a black suit. But I think it's kind of cool. And this again, there's a dream sequence in Batman vs Superman, which they've said is a dream sequence.
Right.
So there's precedent for it because we've seen it in here. Right, I'm going to come back again.
Yeah, go on then.
Why has he not got his powers now?
Because they've got the Kryptonian atmosphere. That's why. I don't know.
It's wrong, isn't it?
Yes.
Tell me it's not wrong.
It's I can't tell you it's not wrong.
The script is wrong, isn't it? In this bit, like I know there's a way you could explain it. I'm sure there's a way you could explain it, but they haven't explained it right, have they?
I think what they've tried to do is they've tried to make it make sense to someone who would go, well,
why haven't they got powers?
Yeah, what's going on here then?
Yeah.
And then so they've tried to explain, well, it's because they've given it Krypton's atmosphere, and that's why. Because of sci-fi reasons.
But it's not quite right, is it?
No, I've never really thought about it before, but now I do. Yeah, it's not quite right.
Yeah. And, okay, I have another question. I'm picking holes in this film.
You are. Dude, you're the one who likes this film.
I love this film. I love it. I love all the action. I love all this stuff. I love the way it's shot. I love the colours. I love the fights coming up in a minute. I love everything up to this point. I love it all. Right, there's Jack Zur, the evil scientist, right?
Oh, yeah.
Who also played old Lex Luthor in Smallville.
Did he?
Yes, he did. There you go.
Jesus Christ, there's so many links to Smallville in this film.
Now, what was I saying? The bit coming up that I don't like. What was I saying?
I don't know. You just said you were going to pick apart in it.
I know. Why is Lois on the ship? So that she can put in the Kryptonian thing into this computer and
the USB stick.
Yeah, Kryptonian USB stick, and Ghost Dad can come up. That's why she's here at this point in the film.
Yeah, my Ghost Dad.
Right, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But explain it more in the plot for me.
Yeah.
They just wanted her there.
I'm sure Feora said of some reason that she had to go up. I can't remember what it was, and we were talking at the time.
Probably.
So
they wanted a hostage, maybe?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. But I like that she figures it out as well, because she's not stupid.
I want that little USB stick
can buy it as a
keyring.
key ring.
I want it as a key ring.
But I think it's huge. I think it's like...
No, I don't want it to be... No, I want it to be the size that it is, like a little USB.
Yeah, no, but I think it... No, it's...
You know what I want? I want a USB stick that's that.
Oh
actually,
my
you know
God,
what? No, I
amazing.
don't, because I don't actually use USB sticks anymore.
Because you use the cloud.
Because I use the cloud. Because it's the 21st century, it's 2016, and I work in IT. So, I can use technology.
Yeah. Right, Ghost Dad's back.
Hello, Ghost Dad.
Now, again, it's his whole consciousness.
It's everything about him is in that key. It's in that USB stick. It's in that Kryptonic USB stick with the Superman S on the front.
Now,
it means hope.
Yeah, right. I'm going to tread all over my hates for this because I love this scene with him in it. When he's like, to hit that panel and he does that and the door crushes. It's just
Punch
brilliant.
that wall.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's so good.
Duck.
Yeah. See, they've changed the atmosphere now. It doesn't matter to me that he's the thing saving the day. Doesn't matter at all.
I like that.
Yeah, that and the door opens. Boom. Hits the person. Pick up the gun. Yeah, I love the deadpan element of it.
Yeah.
She's like panicking, and he's just like, no, yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
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 He doesn't care, does he? Right, so they've got Clark's blood here. So
And
he's
ping. So wait. So now the atmosphere is that. So he's strong.
the atmosphere has changed, so now he's strong again. Look,
So it's not the sun.
just go with it.
Oh right, okay.
All right, you are literally picking holes in one of your favourite films.
I am. I know. That's great. He's just like, to your right, fire. Behind you, fire.
In the face.
Yeah. Door on those three. I like that it goes to Smallville. I like that. It's not just all about Metropolis. It's possible the fight goes on too long.
Yeah, and the destruction cause as well. Now I know it's going to be paid lip service to. Well, it's going to be not paid lip service. It's going to be a whole thing in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, they're going to deal with it. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's Zack Snyder to a T, isn't it? It's over the top, crazy.
Yeah.
So we're getting to the point with the real Jesus point now. So if you missed it before, I'm just going to pour some of my delicious Diet Coke. Other drinks are available.
Diet soda.
Yeah, Diet Soda. So if you missed anything before about the Jesus stuff, the symbolism.
I was going to say, it's now about to be shoved right down your throat.
Yeah, so smash that panel. So he smashes the panel, which opens into space. Love that bit with all the air rushing through the cape. I think the cape's CGI.
Yeah, I think so too.
Looks good though.
Batman's cape is going to be CGI, I think, in the new film.
Yeah. Looks good though.
Yeah. I think there are times when it's exactly the same as in Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus's arms.
Sometimes they are.
Sometimes it's CGI. Sometimes it's like a puppet work.
Yeah.
Or an actual cape.
An actual cape. Yeah. Right, now here it comes. Here's the you can save them. You can save them all. And he steps backwards in a Christ-like way, and we get choral voices. And then he goes and saves her. Just do it. Let's just get on with it.
Move, man.
But I guess I always imagine that's just editing. That's just Zack Snyder's slow motion.
I've just slowed it down a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas actually, it probably took him 2 seconds. Well, not even that. Like half a second to do all that. I know another complaint of this movie, which I'm totally not complaining about at all, is that he's constantly saving Lois. And I have no problem with that. So he saves her 3 times in this movie.
Well, that's not constantly saving Lois.
No, I know.
That's 3 times.
That's what he does.
Yeah, of course he does.
Superman saves Lois Lane.
Superman saves Lois, yeah.
And that's fine. I've got no problem with that whatsoever.
I need to get another beer.
Okay.
Keep talking amongst yourselves.
I'm amazed I haven't had a toilet break.
Me too, actually.
Yeah,
I think it's because I've slowed down on the beers.
Okay. We should say it's quite late. People watching this and listening should know it's late in the day for us. It's the evening.
What time is it?
It is 11:15 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so he saved her. He's definitely got a CGI cape there because he's spinning round. I say that. Actually, do you know what I've said? Definitely. It's probably not. God, I'm an idiot. He's on wires. I think it looked good. Ben, this is terrible audio and video because it's just me staring, yelling at you.
Say again?
I said it's terrible audio and video because I'm just sitting here yelling at you.
That's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm back now, though.
Oh, he's back now. Look. So they're having like a quiet little loving moment in the corn. All the stuff's happening around us.
It's all lovely.
Oh, she yells his name, for Christ's sake. There could be people around. She yells his name later on as well, when the police are there.
Yeah, but they're like, who's Clark? Clark who?
Now, there's a bit coming up. She's possibly my favourite bit in the film. And it's a bit that most people wouldn't pick up on. Right? So all the Kryptonians have come down to find the ship. Martha stupidly gives away where the ship is by looking at the barn. Right? Faora does use some powers. She's got some powers.
Yeah, because she's in Earth's atmosphere.
Okay. So we're here. She's found the ship. She's ripping it open. She's looking for the codex. And this is the bit that comes up that's my favourite bit. So Clark was just with Lois. And then he just shoots up into the sky and disappears. And Zod is wrecking everything. I'm just going to wait for it to happen, for it to come up on the screen before I talk about it. Zod is threatening Martha real bad. And then Clark just goes, bang, says, don't you ever touch my mother. Get away from him.
This is all the repressed rage coming
This is
right
the repressed
out.
rage. He smashes through everything. He just gets him, and he gets him as far away.
Super punches.
Yep. He gets him as far away. He even shouts it, you never go near my mother. And I really love that. That causes all this destruction.
Yeah. Big explosions.
It is Superman's first day, without a doubt. But you really feel that emotion, that real... the parents are so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
he takes off his cape there because it was burning, and he's going to take off his
facey thing. Okay, so he's taken off the facey thing. Now this is the bit okay, it's come off, and now he's having sudden.
So now he can hear all this stuff. He can see in sort of X-ray vision, because he's not attuned to. His senses aren't attuned to what's happening. There you go.
Right. So it's a mix. So the sun gives them some level of... Sun gives them the strength. And the atmosphere gives them the rest of the powers.
Yes.
Have we just figured it out?
I think we've just figured it out.
Okay,
we've just solved the riddle.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, big gun.
Yeah.
Big gun.
So this is
this is where...
and Faora.
Yeah. Gigantosaurus, I'm going to call him.
Yeah, well, so...
Because he's huge.
In this Screen Rant article, it's saying Namek, as a scientist, he's attempted experiments on the endangered Kryptonian Rondor beast, which we saw in the early scenes.
Yeah.
Which was like a sort of a cow type thing. And he injected himself with the serum from the animal's horn in pursuit of immortality. He became immortal, but he became a horrific Rondor/Kryptonian hybrid in the process, which is why he's like 8 foot tall, 9 foot tall, and super strong, beyond Kryptonian super strong.
Right. So here's Superman telling people to
get inside.
Get inside, it's not safe. Yeah, locking that door is going to make all the difference.
Yeah. There's another interesting video on you guys should watch after you've watched this. Bandit Incorporated. He's a great YouTuber. He does a lot of stuff, and he did a video about is Man of Steel it's a review of Man of Steel essentially, but it goes through it all and all the complaints that are made of this movie, because he really likes the movie as well. He's got a lot of issues with it as well, but he still loves it.
Right.
And there's a bit about where people have said, well, he never saves anyone. And he just goes through it again and again.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah, and it's just all the people he saves, and he saves loads of people.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
Yeah, causing lots of damage there. Yeah. Not really doing an awful lot to the guys.
In fact, if anything, the Americans caused more damage right then than anything else that's been happened before. Do you think... okay, so we've talked a bit, and I know lots of people have talked before, about the fact that there is so much destruction. I mean, this fight in particular is horrific in destruction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So an A-10 just crashed into that town.
You knew that was an A-10?
Yeah.
That's good knowledge.
Thanks, it's Warthog. Yeah. So they just crashed into that town. The second one's about to crash as well. I don't know if it does actually not. They go through buildings.
Nice advert for an
IHOP. Yeah, exactly, yeah. They destroy entire buildings. You know, the street is wrecked. Loads of cars. is it important for the story, or is it just gratuitous?
This felt at the time, and it still does feel gratuitous. Now you could say that they were playing the long game and they wanted to do a sequel that had Batman in it, and his concern was going to be, look at all the damage he causes.
Yeah.
But I think that is a complete and utter retrofit of, people like the film, but they were really concerned with the damage. We've got to we've got to address that in the sequel.
I think you're right. I really do think you're right.
I think it's all, because I think it's a great film. I enjoy the film.
Yeah.
I think all the damage caused, though, is
over
completely and utterly over the top.
It feels like two reactions are happening. The first reaction is, well, in Superman Returns, people complained he didn't punch anything.
Yeah,
and there
wasn't enough action in it.
There's only one action scene in it, really, and it's where he saves the plane. And I showed Vic that scene the other day on YouTube, and she was like, "Wow, that's amazing!"
Yeah,
and it is amazing. It makes your heart race when you're watching it.
It's
even
the
on YouTube.
only decent thing in the film, pretty much.
Yeah. From that moment on, it slows right down. And I like Superman Returns, but it's really got problems. So there's a reaction to that. So that's, I think, why they've got someone like Zack Snyder, who's proven himself to do incredible action with things like 300, Dawn of the Dead he remade, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And you've got someone like Henry Cavill, who is in Immortals, where he played Theseus.
I think so, yeah.
And that's got Greek gods, and he has gravitas for that. So they've done a lot of destruction. And then I think you're right, the second reaction is, after this movie, laser eyes, amazing laser eyes there. After this movie, they said, oh yeah, that was so that we could deal with it later. Yeah. But actually it was because people went, no.
What the hell did you do to the world? Yeah.
Because actually...
Do you know what? The very simple thing about nice, I forgot about this.
Well, he chucks the truck.
Picks up a truck and throws it at the helicopter.
That's a bit of a non-wink to the first Superman comic, where he's smashing the car into the wall. It's a little bit of that. The Supe saves the helicopter pilot. Love that scene.
It's good CGI as well, that.
Yeah. What were you going to say, sorry? Before you said about the question.
Right. Well, we've spoken about this ourselves many, many times.
Yeah.
About the John Peters influence.
Oh yeah, so that's from John Peters is the executive producer. You guys may or may not know that, and he was involved in the Superman film that didn't happen, that was going to be starring Nicolas Cage.
Superman Lives.
Yeah. And there's a fantastic interview with Kevin Smith, who was talking at some sort of university or something, and someone asked him to talk about his experience writing the script for Superman Lives.
Yeah.
And John Peters says, he said, like, I don't want him to wear in the suit. I don't want him to fly, and he's got to fight a giant spider at the end of it.
Yeah,
which is just madness. And I'm not telling the story half as good as Kevin Smith does. He really embellishes it. And Kevin Smith's great speaker.
Some of these videos that we're talking about will link to some of
them.
Yeah.
And John Peters is the executive producer on this, so he's had some involvement in this.
Yeah.
So he's probably had some involvement in the excess of destruction in it.
The simple fact that before the big fight at the end, he goes to the other side of the world
and fights tentacles
and fights that huge tentacle snake thing, and blows up the world engine on that side.
It's the giant spider.
Massive gratuitous action scene. Yeah, do you know what this scene needs? A fight with a big sci-fi snake.
Well, that's why. That's another thing of it being two endings.
Yeah.
Again, here, there's too much. Okay, so if anything is criticism of this film, all the other criticisms aside, and in fact this might sum up all of the criticisms, too much of everything.
Yeah.
So there are too many fights, or the fight's gone too long, perhaps.
Yeah,
There's too many endings, and perhaps there's too many characters. So Feyor is an interesting character, and it's important that we have someone he can fight against who we recognise, not just a goon, right?
Yeah.
But then there's this scene with the soldier there with the knife, which is then played in later on, and it's a nice scene and it's a nice bit of dialogue.
Yeah,
but is it important?
No, it's not important at all. It doesn't need to happen. It's complete side plot.
So you put that in, yet you don't put in an explanation about the suit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's weird layers of stuff, like excessive of everything, really.
There's an awful lot of damage just happened there.
Yeah, sorry.
Like napalm down the street, for Christ's sake. Lursa. That was her name.
Oh yeah,
in Superman 2.
Yeah,
It just came to me as you were speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've just they've picked her up. So Namek wasn't hurt in the slightest bit. He threw a whole train at Superman, as you do. And then but Faora's mask came off, and she got knocked out by a rocket.
What did happen in this scene? So the simple fact that guy, Superman, did save that guy who's about to have a knife fight with Faora.
Yeah.
It's the fact that
the
army guys are like, well, hang on, we can trust this guy because he's just trying to help us.
Yeah, okay, actually, maybe that's true.
So, yeah, but still, no explanation about the suit.
Yeah, exactly. All this stuff and no bloody explanation. Here's a suit for you. It's Kryptonian in nature. The cape will make you seem godlike to them. I don't know, something. Just
and if
anything.
You're worried about the billowing, don't worry, we'll CGI it. What do you mean? We don't need to know.
You're slipping into Deadpool territory.
I'm totally slipped into Deadpool territory.
Yeah. I do you know, having just said there's too much of everything in it, and too many side characters, I do like that the characters are fleshed out and they're not just nobodies. I do like that that you've got the commander of the general, and then you've got this colonel, and you've got and I think you know them all individually.
Yeah, I mean, that guy was just the colonel guy was about to have the knife fight with Faora. He's like, well, this is it, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out swinging. I like that. That's good.
It's good, yeah.
You see his humanity a little bit.
Oh, this is a great scene with Martha here, where she's just like...
Yeah, I'm alright. There's a car in the front room.
Yeah, but
I'm okay.
She's got this great attitude of, it's just stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? As long as you're alright, then everything's alright.
I do think that she doesn't seem to remember that he is...
Superman. Yeah. But she's a classic mum.
Yeah.
Worried about him no matter what.
I'm worried about my baby.
Because...
he can't be killed. He could pick up the earth and throw it into the sun if he really tried.
I mean, I know...
But I'm still worried about, did he eat this morning?
Yeah. My mother and I know my other half's mother worry about the silliest of things. But it's only through love. It's just like...
That's what mums do.
Yeah,
That's what mums do.
This bit, Lois just runs up. There's a police car in the background. Clark, I know how to defeat Zod. And there he is just standing in his Superman
How do you
suit.
know? Your space dad told me.
This is interesting where we get a bit more... So this is... Okay.
Total Nazi doctor.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Plot from the first 10 minutes, forgotten about for the last couple of hours, suddenly thrown in. It's weird that they don't mention it before now, that they let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it, but... Oh, this is a great threat. Does he need to be alive? No.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go on then.
Haven't they already got his cells?
They got some of them.
Oh, they need more.
They probably need all of them.
Oh, I see, right. Oh, I see. Okay, they need all of them. Okay. Release the world engine. Because they're saying... that right, so they've got to a point where... they've found the Codex, they've found a habitable planet, and they want everyone to die.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
They are as evil can be.
Well, some might say they're the true
heroes
of this film.
They want to wipe out an entire civilization.
Hey, it's just from a certain point of view.
No. They're proper bad guys. They are bad as the bad.
Well, they are. For Christ's sake, they've got a Nazi war criminal doctor saying, nah, we don't really need to keep him alive to, recreate Krypton. Yeah. And as well, the bit of the vial of blood they've got, if you think about it, they've probably, if they look at who they've got in that vial of blood, it's probably just like some scum.
Right, it's
what
just
they probably need
scum
is
of Krypton.
The VIPs.
Oh, right, okay. They've got the workers.
They've
got the workers of Krypton.
Right, yeah.
So the world engine's crashed down now and it's a giant spider and it's something that they used to fight, yeah?
Oh, God. So there's one going to Metropolis and then there's one on the other side.
Yeah. This is a brilliant bit of sci-fi exposition coming up.
Yeah.
Where the Dr. Hamilton just goes, they're what does he say? They're terraforming, and it's like most sci-fi nerds
know exactly.
Yeah, would be like,
mean.
oh, terraforming, yeah, okay. But this is for all the people who have never watched a sci-fi movie before, but I've gone to see a Superman film, and they're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It means we won't be able to survive.
Yeah. It means basically this planet, mind you, why would they want to do that? Because if they terraform this planet, they won't have their powers anymore.
That's a really interesting point.
So why would they bother? Why don't they
I'll
just
tell you
go,
what.
do you know what? We are going to spend the next year killing everyone.
Well,
And then we're going to recreate Kryptonian people.
because so far, the only experience they've had of that is it hurting them quite bad.
Yeah, but you know...
The scientists should have turned around and said,
Whoa, hang on,
whoa,
boys.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa.
Trust me, this will help.
Let's not turn this into Krypton and then 1,000 years down the line blow it up again. Let's, you know... Actually,
there you go.
Let's retain powers and blow it up next week.
Well, exactly. There you go. That's it having two endings it doesn't need. And it's destruction porn. So we've got this going on here where it's just...
Destruction porn. I'm so pleased you said that.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
At the minute, right? This first scene where... So they've got the world engine smashing things together now, right? In Metropolis. And it seems... It's a weird... It seems to be destroying things so quickly to begin with. And then that really slows down.
It's interesting though, isn't it? That it sort of crushes things.
Yeah.
Gravity weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it sort of lifts it up and then crushes it down, and then like there were people running along, and then suddenly they were just crushed down. I don't quite understand how it works, but it's too much. But it seems to be quite effective.
It is. It's effective in its horror side of things. Definitely,
Yeah.
It's definitely terrifying and horrifying. But it is too much. Again, if you didn't have this plot point, if you just had Zod coming down and then fighting, you wouldn't need that question of why do they need to turn it into Krypton?
Yeah.
Because Zod would say, "I'm going to have this planet as me," use the powers.
That was a good Zod impression.
Oh, thank you. I think the beard is what did it.
Yeah.
Particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad beard.
Vic doesn't like it. It'll probably be gone soon, but yeah.
Pussy bit.
So this is interesting again. This is again. There's a lot of just sci-fi writing around this now. Zod ship uses the same technology.
It bends space.
Yeah, we can just shove them together, and then it's just all this Star Trek style explanation of science bit, like a black hole.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
you know what that is. Yeah.
What we need to do is we need to circumnavigate the Phantom Drive with some new technology that... Oh, what, and create a black hole?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
We're going to create a black hole.
And seriously, you're going to do that above Metropolis?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why anyone thought that was a good idea. But at the same time, hey, turns out it works. So,
I think it's an example of style over substance, which happens a lot in movies, and that's fine. It's totally fine. But the action of it, the actual seeing what happens, is fantastic. It's great. It's gripping. It's well edited. It looks fantastic. It's when you step back and go, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
That's the point.
Well, yeah.
But and that's when nerds like us have watched it hundreds of times and watch it and review it. But,
Pure escapism.
yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
It's interesting.
There's threats because you see all this stuff getting crushed and all these people being hurt, and and the planet's in danger. These people that you care about.
Let's skip forward to something that's coming out in... Whoa. Oh, no, I said
No.
skip forward. No.
Oh, no, hang on. Oh, no.
No.
That's right, I'll skip back.
Okay, so...
Oh, hang on. We need
next
to catch
month,
up a little bit.
In 1 month and 5 days,
Carry on.
when the sequel to this film kind of comes out,
Yeah.
what the question I have is, what does Bruce Wayne think he's going to do when he is running towards the world engine?
Yeah, I don't know. How are they going to explain that?
I don't know. but all the destruction that's happening, why is he running towards it thinking it's a good idea? I mean, honestly.
I guess you're supposed to watch it and go, well, he's amazing. He's a hero. He's running towards it, but
He's not suited up. If he had the mech suit on...
Maybe, but he's not revealing, yeah.
But he's wearing a waistcoat, for Christ's sake.
I know. Sorry, I'm just replying to Vic, sorry.
It's okay. Oh, God.
It's just lovey-dovey stuff. You don't want to hear it.
I don't.
So, okay, look, we've got the powers thing going on again here. Okay, so Zod has gone down, right?
I'm going to close my eyes and concentrate really hard.
And suddenly you can deal with it. Now I can deal with it. I haven't got a problem with that. Do you know why?
He's Zod. He can do what he wants.
He's a military expert. He's all about that sort of thing.
He's all about controlling his...
Control.
Yeah.
He's been put in a situation he doesn't understand, and now he's going to control it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a thing. Here's a thought for you. We were talking about earlier about...
So now he's on the Fortress of Solitude, isn't he?
The Fortress of Solitude, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's the ship that he flies off in a minute, which we see get destroyed.
Yeah.
The little ship that he came in...
Oh,
it's still there, yeah.
Ah.
But it won't have Ghost Dad on it.
No, but has he still got his thing? Because if he's still got his thing, he'll still have Ghost Dad.
I think he uses USB stick. He uses USB stick in a minute to create the black hole above Metropolis, and that disappears into something, Phantom Zone.
Ah.
So he'll have a ship, but it's a tiny little ship.
Obviously, couldn't afford Russell Crowe for more than one movie.
Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah. We've bitched about this being two endings, and it doesn't need to be. But I like this fight.
Really? I think it's completely unnecessary.
It is completely unnecessary, but I like it.
This is the bit when Christopher Reeve shows up for a frame, doesn't he?
Does he?
Have you not seen that?
No, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a great bit of trivia.
There's a bit like for I think like so if you think like 1 second is 24 frames.
Yeah.
I think for half of a second.
Right. It's Christopher Reeve.
It's Christopher Reeve.
Oh wow, that's brilliant.
I'll point it out when it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is you're right. It's excessive and pointless. There's no need for any of it.
Yeah, look at that. We're going to fire bullets at it, and the bullets.
Yeah,
no,
the rocket,
bullets,
the
rockets,
missiles are hitting people in Metropolis. It's over the top, ridiculous. But you've got a fantastic soundtrack going on.
Yeah.
You've got amazing action in front of you. You've got people that you have seen earlier in the film, so you're now sympathising with them. You're fully on board the whole way through, right?
Seriously though, this thing does not have to happen. This is so...
Yeah, okay, so it's got like tentacle arms made of the Kryptonian pin stuff. Yeah. This is a bit much, isn't it? All the planes smashing. It's a little bit Independence Day, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my wingman. That's very Top Gun.
It is very Top Gun. And now look at the destruction that's happened around it. It's like so many city blocks. I don't know. I'm. Were they running towards the ship then?
Yeah, it looks like it. Because they're stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit hard to get your head around why this is happening, and I mean I don't know why it's happening in the film. I followed the story in the film a little bit. Get your head around why they put it in the film.
See, this is stupid. They're running away from it. All they have to do is run that way.
It's the Prometheus run.
Yeah.
Have you seen Prometheus where the ship's rolling towards them if they just ran to the side?
Yeah, just run to the side. You'll be fine.
Oh, they do then. They do at the end.
Yeah, but
it crushes them.
Took them long enough.
Yeah. This is an interesting scene between Ghost Dad and Zod. Because, it is fully Ghost Dad. It's not a...
Yeah, he even just said the word ghost.
Yeah.
I love it. And
it does answer the question again here. That birthing chamber started to activate again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it is. I saw something moving. All right,
Yeah.
let you off. Okay, interesting. Hang on.
What's going on?
I'm just looking at...
We've had some tweets and stuff, have we?
And, we've had a Facebook, someone's watching Take Me Out. Whilst we're doing this...
Brilliant.
One of our followers is watching Take Me Out.
Right, okay. Well, hopefully they'll watch this afterwards.
Hopefully they will.
Yeah. If we can get it online. There's a pause in the action here for actually quite a nice scene. Not nice in any way because Ghost Dad dies again. Clark's dad dies 3 times in this film.
It's a lot for someone to take, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And it is, even there, it's a little bit like, oh, Jerome's gone.
End of Ghost Dad.
End of Ghost Dad, yeah. But it's another exclamation point on Zod is truly evil because he killed his dad twice.
Well, yes. Yeah. I mean, they're really laying it on thick that Zod is the bad guy.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah.
I think we knew it already, but
yeah.
You know.
So where's the Christopher Reeve?
It's coming.
Shot? Okay.
I think it happens when he's at the bottom of.
Oh yeah.
What's happening, and he's.
And again, that doesn't get explained very well either. So at the minute he's struggling because he's got the atmosphere.
The atmosphere there is Kryptonian, so
yeah.
he's coughing.
So he's coughing and struggling, and he's thrown underneath the gravity
well.
well.
Here we go. This is it.
Okay.
This is it. This is where it happens.
Well, at the bottom of the gravity well.
Yeah.
We're about to see him in a second. Oh no, we've got Perry trying to save Jenny first. See, I mean, it slowed down the destruction here. When it started, it was like really quick. Now it's like a little bit.
Who is Jenny again? Jenny is. This is the new.
It was, I think she was Jenny Olsen.
Right. Yes.
But I think they've retrofitted it that she's just Jenny now because there's a Jimmy Olsen in Batman vs Superman.
Oh, is there?
There is, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Now, I could be wrong about that. But
Maybe they're brother and sister.
Sure I've read that right. Sorry, again, sorry?
Maybe they're brother and sister.
Maybe. But it's interesting that because she is playing the intern role, and that's Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
He becomes a photographer later on, but he is an intern to begin with.
He's a noob.
Yeah. Right, we're in the gravity well.
Here it is.
He's there. Okay, so we've got...
So he's at the bottom.
Yeah. And he's...
Just keep your eyes right on his face.
Okay.
It's literally... It happens so fast. Just keep on watching. Keep watching.
Did it happen then?
No.
Yeah, everyone at home should be watching.
It's like when he look, he's looking up. It's like it's like a mid shot on his face.
I've got to look real close at this. See the destruction there. It's happening real fast. Sorry, it's happening real slow. It's slowed down for the plot almost.
Keep watching.
Is it there?
Keep watching. There.
Oh, I did see it.
Yeah.
Wow. Because he looks a bit like him. Now this is my question. Does he just believe in himself? What happens there that he overcomes it?
I don't know. Sci-fi reasons.
Yeah,
Superman shout!
Yeah. He just overcomes everything and just... Do you know how he destroys that? Do you know what he does? He punches his head through it. That's what he does right there. I'm so angry I'm going to punch my face through the world engine.
He shouldn't be able to do it though because it's Kryptonian atmosphere, so he shouldn't be able to get up there.
No. It's a silly scene. The whole thing is silly. It's pointless. But it is, like I said, it looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine.
You see, it could have just been this bit.
Yeah.
The ship could have come down over Metropolis. We're going to come in, and they base themselves over Metropolis, and then they come in and strike.
Yeah.
But you have to get rid of Superman for a period.
Yes.
Because otherwise Superman would just do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess that's what they've done there. Perhaps they've come up with the plan to get rid of the Kryptonians and needed Superman on the other side.
This bit you were talking about where he reaches for the sun.
He puts his hand up and there's the sun. And I don't think they're not being explicit there about him drawing on the sun for power. But it is almost a nod and wink to the comics.
They were more explicit about him getting power from the sun in Superman Returns.
Yes.
Where he flies up above the clouds.
Yes.
Bathes in the sun for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then off he flies.
Now this is a great bit of USB technology here. In the same way that USBs for us now don't go in one way.
Yeah.
This USB will not go in if it's not turned around the right way.
Well, like I said earlier on, they perfected USB technology
8,000 years ago.
But you still got to have it round the right way.
Well, yeah. And do you know the way, the sod's bloody law with USB, right? You go to it, it won't go in. So you turn it around, it won't go in. You turn it around again, it was right the first time, and then it'll go in.
Yeah, so why the hell wouldn't it go in the first time?
Always, though. Every time.
I have no words. There are no words. There we go.
There's a great
so that's
bit.
Fortress of Solitude coming on now, isn't it?
The great bit in this scene, I really, really like this bit. So Zod's flying this, and Superman turns up, yeah? Mm-hmm. And he stops it from... what does he do here? Now, does he fly in and... Yeah, he hits the side of the ship. And boom, goes on the side of it. Now, the bit here, when he uses his laser vision.
Yeah.
Laser eyes.
Here we go.
I love how powerful you see those laser eyes are.
Yeah, well, like in the final fight, where it cuts that building in half.
Yeah. He's just like, I can do this, and I can do it from here. And the only way to do it is to burn and cut this place to shreds.
Yeah. It goes down pretty quick, actually, doesn't it? After he does that.
Yeah. It's kind of the control module he destroys.
Mm.
Now, again, first day of Superman, he is crashing through those buildings.
Yeah. Well, I think luckily an awful lot of what it crashes into had already been destroyed.
Yeah.
At the same time, it still hit a couple of buildings
and he didn't know that.
hadn't been destroyed.
He didn't know that. So, oh, so yeah, Dr. Hamilton sees it's the right way up.
What's going on here? Have we not got this USB in the right way round?
I like it. The science guy knows the USB is the wrong way round. Oh, flick it round. Only go straight in. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake! Why didn't anyone think of that?
Yeah. And there's that warning. It's not safe for you over there. Then he dies. Yeah. He's the red shirt.
That was a nice Wilhelm scream as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the red shirt Star Trek guy, isn't he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like how he sees her coming and he's like, well, I'm probably going to back away here because I know that I'm in a bit of trouble.
You said a good point the other day on the pod.
I said a lot of good points.
You do, yeah. I'm looking forward to it in Batman vs Superman where they face off and you see the true strength of Superman because before you'd only really seen him fight Kryptonians. Mm. But you said quite rightly, when you see the Kryptonians go through all the soldiers in this scene, you see how powerful they are. Because she just walks just straight through him. Doesn't just flicks them out of the way really.
And there we go. Phantom Drive engaged.
Yeah, Superman symbol, lock on.
She spends way too much time looking at him and not thinking, why don't I just kill him just before I go?
It's quite sad that Dr. Hamilton dies in this, I think.
Great good, mate. Great good.
I know. And and what's happening here? Are they being killed? Or are they being sucked into the Phantom Zone? What's happening, do you reckon?
Yes.
No, seriously, I want to know, what do you think?
I've got absolutely no idea. I'm going to say they were sucked into the Phantom Zone because then they can come back
if they want to,
another day.
Yeah, maybe.
For another film. They'll live to fight another day. So whilst it may look like they die, I don't think they do.
And it's just pulling in Kryptonians?
Seems to be.
Because Lois's face isn't being drawn away in that point. Ripping the film to shreds again, but look at that destruction.
Yeah.
And now we have a pause, right?
Uh-huh.
That's the end of the movie, right?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
No. But it could be. That's the first ending. And it's so draining on you. I mean, it's draining in a good way. Like, you watch it and you're like...
So how did Zod get out of it?
Well, he was crashed in the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, of course, yes. Sorry, beg your pardon.
So, but it's like, okay, he saved us. And Superman did save the day to some degree. Saved Lois again, third time.
Save Metropolis, save the world, really?
And then we have another fight.
Yeah, well, you got to deal with Zod.
I know.
Now,
I'm just pulling it apart because it's too many endings. But
what happened for me, one of the reasons why I watched this film and the opinion I had of it for such a long time, is I read the review that Mark Waid, who wrote Birthright, gave of this film.
Yeah, I've read that as well. And I think he's got some valid points, but he didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like the ending where Zod's neck gets snapped.
Yeah. I
don't have a problem with that.
I always come back to it thinking...
He could have done something else.
Should have done something else. Right. What we don't see in this film... I was thinking about this actually earlier on when I was waiting at the bus with my daughter and I was thinking about this specific bit and I wanted to come up with something. Why didn't he... Superman, why didn't he put him on the moon, encase him in some kind of kryptonite jail that he was like, oh, this feels a bit funny to me, but he's been on Earth for 33 years, so kryptonite doesn't affect him the way it should classically affect him yet, but it does affect Zod because Zod's been in a Kryptonian atmosphere. So, why don't you stick him in a kryptonite jail on the moon?
I don't think we've had kryptonite yet.
Okay, fine.
I don't mean he could have figured out something.
Superman finds a way. And you can argue that he finds a way in this film. He snaps his neck. But...
Okay.
It's a small point that...
Let me put it to you.
Sullies it a little bit for me.
The destruction is too much.
Yeah.
We watch it and we go, the destruction is too much. Superman, sees the destruction is too much. And he has only one way to stop him.
He just says, you're a madman, Zod, I'm going to stop you.
Yeah. And later on, Zod does actually say to him, "This ends only one way: your death or mine."
Yeah.
During the fight, he says that. Apparently, there's a bit there's a poster on the wall that says "Keep calm and call Batman."
Yeah.
Um,
Laser eyes.
Laser eyes. So we get the laser eyes happening, and he starts shredding the building, and we know from the Batman vs Superman trailer we're going to see the outside version of this.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to see.
So we're going to see
the
that
building coming down, aren't we?
I like that uncontrollable element of that. He can't control himself. He doesn't know what's going on. And he jumps out the building. He's scared. I haven't seen that before, but Zod jumped away.
Yeah, well, he knows it's coming down, doesn't he?
So I guess for us, that's a cue that could stop him. Look at all this destruction. It's so much.
It's meant to, isn't it?
Like, I don't like to make a mess, and I watch this and I'm like, who's going to clear that up? Seriously, I get really stressed about the mess it causes. There's a Let's Cop truck, yeah.
Well, who's going to clear it up? Those guys in that new TV show they're going to be
that's true.
Who's gonna clean it up.
But look at it all. I just can't. It takes ages to build a road, and they wreck all the roads.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's
Super
more
punch.
realistic. I know it is more realistic. And when they punch, there's lots of like every time they hit each other, there's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
In the air, and that's good. CGI's a bit ropey here. A little bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
Come
it
on,
is.
It's a little bit.
There's this comic book universe within the comic book universe sign here somewhere, I think, isn't
Is
there?
there?
I can't remember what it's called. It's on that thing.
Oh yeah, I did see it. Yeah, there's a little Easter egg. Yeah. See, he jumping up the wall like that. I think looks a little strange.
Well, he can't fly at this point.
No, he can't. You're right, and I like the bit where he learns to fly. I like this bit in a minute where he goes. Well, hang on a minute. I figured out the other bits. I can figure out flying because I've seen him fly. I love that burning of the.
I like that. It says 106 days without an accident, and then he hits the side, and it all falls down to it and leaves a zero.
Yeah.
That's clever.
It's in jokes, yeah. I think you can see the suit is CGI there, the Zod suit.
Yeah.
This is the bit where he breaks it off himself, and he says, "Where did you train on a farm? I trained my whole life." So it does make sense that he's starting to use it. But I think it really looked CGI in that moment.
And now I can fly.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I really am. I think the villain should be able to figure that out, but I think it should have perhaps happened earlier in the film.
The texture of the suit as well is the same as Superman. It's just different colour. It's just black.
Yeah.
Super punches.
It's so excessive though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
this is
such
a bit
reaction.
Matrix Revolutions
Yeah.
fight. This bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favourite film, Matrix Revolutions,
No.
and this. One of the reasons why was the fight in midair looks stupid, and this does look a bit stupid to me.
Because
I have to
you
say.
kind of need something to react against.
Yeah.
Actually, I keep going on about this. The overdone destruction. I really haven't been very positive about this film throughout this commentary. I do really like it. I really do enjoy it. But it's when you think about it too much.
Yeah. Well, this is it. One thing, I watched this at the cinema when it came out.
Yeah.
And I liked it. And at the start of it, I was choked up. I didn't like it when Zod gets his neck snapped.
Yeah.
But I dealt with it. But I didn't watch it again for a long time.
Right.
And I did. Oh, it's a Wayne Enterprises on the satellite.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I did when I did watch it again after probably about a year after it came out. After I'd watched it originally,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Right.
I enjoyed it more the second time of watching than I did the first time.
I think, as with all nerd films, you have a lot of expectations and you build things up in your brain.
Yeah.
That scene's going to be in Batman vs Superman. We've seen that.
Yes, it's where it hits the building. You
build up expectations, and I think perhaps that's why we'll enjoy it the second time round, because we know what we're going to get.
Yeah.
And actually, we probably see more into it and enjoy more. Here's the scene, the big scene. So he's got him in the neck,
got him like a half Nelson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, choke. And there's the threat. If you love these people so much, and you can mourn for them. And so he's laser. It's a strange scene because, okay.
I wonder what's happening behind that wall.
Yeah, is it? And do the laser beams just go straight out of the eyes, or do they go where the eyes look, or is it where the head looks? Why can't he put his hand over the lasers? Or the lasers so strong that it would cut his hand? Would it burn him? It would burn him, right?
It would burn him. I'm going to say it would burn him.
Neck snap. But the...
Neck snap.
Yeah. The music is so intense.
Yeah, it really is.
You really feel it. And then this bit, I really like this bit writing it in to show that he really didn't want to do that.
Oh, the super scream, yeah.
He really does go full.
Oh, he loses it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loses it, yeah. There he is. I feel like that would hurt Lois's ears.
Yeah.
How come Lois is there?
Lois knows where Superman is, and she's always there for him. Because she loves him.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. She needed to be there because this scene needs to happen. She needs to comfort him.
Yeah. He needs to feel the embrace of someone who cares about him.
And if he'd gone flying to her, it would have been a bit weird.
Yeah.
It would have been like, oh, we're going to go cry to your girlfriend. But she's there to say, I'm here, don't worry.
Yeah, she does always seem to turn up at the most opportune moment, though. Or inopportune moment, I guess. Okay, right. So, third ending.
Yeah. That's okay, it's alright. Zod dying is the ending I wanted. I didn't want the other ending.
Now we get a third ending.
Yeah.
And then in a minute we get a fourth ending, which is the actual ending.
Yeah. So this is a sort of summary of... The question is going to be, like, okay, everyone knows about Superman now. So surely the government don't want to know what's going on with him. And we want to know if he's working with the government.
Mm.
So that's this scene where he's talking about it. Let's go pop some popcorn from outside your bottom.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
That was unwanted physical contact.
Oh, okay. You kidder. I love that. I love that scene. Like, you know who I am. I grew up in Kansas.
Yeah, do you know, I don't know if you've ever actually looked at a map of the states, but Kansas is literally smack bang right in the middle of central United States of America.
Brilliant.
It is literally, you can't really get a more central state than Kansas.
Of America, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it's about as American as you can get. He literally is.
A little bit of humour here as well. Like that. Do you like the humour?
Yeah, I do. I do like the humour. There's not a lot of humour in this film.
No, yeah, it's quite dark. I think he's kind of hot. If she's Carol Ferris in the Green Lantern movie, I won't be very happy. There's nothing wrong with her as an actress. She's just a little bit short and not quite got the strength of that character. Carol Ferris is a very strong, dominant female.
Sexist. Nice. I like it. So you're a sexist now, are you, Father? Sorry.
So I think that actress is not playing that role.
No, she's no.
She's playing
I completely
sort
understand what you're saying.
plucky, funny character. Carol Ferris isn't that. So I don't want that character to be Carol Ferris. Well, this is ending number 4.
Yes. Okay, so the fifth ending is the actual ending.
So he gets a little summary with his mum. Oh, you see his dad again. Oh,
Back to Earth, Dad.
Oh no.
I have to say, I hate the scene where he puts his hands on his hips.
Really?
In the Superman, the classic. It's
so cheesy.
No, a kid wouldn't do that. They'd be like, "Why have I got a cape on?"
But maybe maybe in this world there are other superhero type characters in comics or something. You're not sure about it?
No.
No?
There is though, because Lex Luthor read about them in Smallville.
Right.
There's some, I can't remember what he's called.
Right.
But there's some, I don't know, there's some character that he read.
It is a little cheesy. It is a little on the nose, yeah. So, Hannah, if you thought of what you want to do, I want to be a reporter.
Yeah. Keep my ears to the ground.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you become a cop?
Yeah.
You know? Or an FBI agent.
Or, like, why? In this world, why does he need to be Clark?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I really don't.
I'm really ripping this apart because, and I really shouldn't, because when I first saw this, and I still love it, when he puts the glasses on, he walks in the suit, I'm like, and the music starts coming up, and it's building, and it's just like, yes, that's amazing, I love it.
I said it earlier on as well, I really, really love this theme tune.
Yeah.
I know it might not have the gravitas of the Christopher Reeve Superman movie.
I don't know, I think it does.
But I think that it's, if that song came out for this film, it wouldn't fit.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas the song that comes out that is the Superman song for this film completely fits the film.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Oh, I love that line.
Welcome to the planet.
Welcome to the planet. Yeah, so many levels. 2. No. No, it's good. It's really good. And I like the little grin between the two. And then you get the title. No credits before this moment.
There weren't actually.
No,
were
just
there?
the Superman symbol before.
Amazing.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
Boom.
Right. I know I've spent 2.5 hours ripping this film apart.
You have.
But
Christopher
I
Nolan,
really produced it.
well, and part of the story. With
Did he?
That's
Oh,
right, yeah.
okay.
Produced by Nolan.
I really love this film. I really do. I know I've ripped it apart for ages. I enjoy watching it. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking about it with you for 2.5
yeah,
hours.
it's been good. There he is, John
Peters, executive producer. Well done, John. Yeah.
Apparently, he was a hairdresser. You know.
Oh,
he
dear.
cut some very famous people's hair.
Yeah.
Therefore, that makes him, completely qualified to be an executive producer.
Yeah, I
Hey,
don't know.
is there an after credits?
I don't believe there is. No, there isn't. Music by Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is fantastic. He does so many
Is he
great,
doing the
great.
music for Batman vs Superman?
I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. I'm pretty sure he is.
I hope so.
Yeah, just great. Zack Snyder, was he a good choice for the director?
Who else would have done it?
I don't know. I think it's that reaction to Superman Returns. They needed action,
Yeah, they did.
and they were like, who here at the minute? Who at Warner Brothers has done comic books and action? And they said, well, Zack's done Watchmen and 300.
Yeah.
So let's get him in.
Yeah. Let's have a chat with him, see what he thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the cast? I mean,
I said it earlier on. I think the cast is completely on the nose. It's all really, really well done. I think Henry Cavill as
Superman.
Kal-El, as Superman, as Clark Kent, whatever you want to call him, is absolutely brilliant.
yeah.
And
Gosh, music is so stirring. Isn't
it is
Sorry,
brilliant. You forget that anyone else has ever played him before.
Yeah.
He is that strong in the role.
And it's different. It's a different story. It's a different origin. It's a different Superman. It's it uses all the things that we know and we want to see, but it changes them.
It's taken elements from
All of these
the
books
graphic
are in front of
novels
us,
as well, which means that it wanted to do a good job.
Yeah.
And it cared about doing a good job.
Yeah.
And that is great. Because the expectations of this film were very, very high.
Yeah.
So for it to have done as well as it did, alright, it didn't set the world on fire, but it did well. And the film that's coming out next month wouldn't be coming out if it wasn't for this film.
Absolutely,
You know?
it's we said it's like we said, it's the Iron Man of this series.
Absolutely.
It's launched the series, and since the since the success of this movie, and the success of the marketing of Batman vs Superman, they've then since announced Green Lantern Corps, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Justice League 1 and 2, Aquaman, Cyborg. There's Black Adam's been cast in something, Shazam, I guess.
Yeah.
So all of these films are happening.
You've now got Danny Trejo trying to say, "Oh yeah, I'll be oh God, what's he called? I always forget his
Lobo.
name. Lobo, that's it. Yeah.
But obviously, and Suicide Squad later this year.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's launched all of these properties, and Arrow, Flash, the TV series of they're helping it as well. So I love it.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
I can't believe I just spent 2.5 hours saying all this is like, this is wrong, that's wrong, why have they done this, tell me about that, and then I'll just end it with,
You
I
were
love
overly harsh. I was expecting you to gush on it a little bit more.
No, but maybe that's why, because I'm trying to be a bit more like both-sided about it.
Fair enough. It's
I
fine.
said the stuff I liked, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. But then you were saying, but why has he not got powers in this atmosphere, but then he does in this atmosphere?
Do you know why? It's because I wanted them to make this book.
Secret Origin.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Okay.
It's really good. Actually, I as a closing to this, if you're interested in some Superman stuff, we'll put links on the end. these are some seriously good books that you might want to pick up if you're interested. I'll show you what we've got here. So, we've got a lot of origins. There's a few origin stories here. So we've got Superman Birthright, which is Mark Waid and Leonard Liu.
That's really good.
It's really good. It was an origin story. It's since been rewritten as it's been written out of continuity, but at the time it was the continuity, and it's really interesting. It has a real heartwarming story about the parents coming in towards the end. Lex Luthor's an integral character, and that's something I was going to say about this film is Lex Luthor's not in this, and he seems to be integral in almost all the other origin stories. So there's Birthright, it's a good one.
Yeah, Zod though. You can't have Zod and Lex.
Exactly, yeah. You've got Superman for All Seasons, which is Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, who did Long Halloween, the Batman series. And this is a little bit of a strange one because it's kind of like a very old style artwork. I'm trying to get a good picture. It's got a real classic look about it. But again, it's his origin story, and it's really an interesting one. If you want to try that, there's some notes from this in this movie as well that if you read, you'd see the Lana Lang story and stuff like that. Very good. That's a lot of Smallville for All Seasons. Then we've got All Star Superman volumes 1 and 2 there, which is not an origin story. It's actually it's an Elseworld story about sort of the end of Superman's time. Really interesting. Grant Morrison wrote that.
It's the one Grant Morrison story I think I actually quite like.
Yeah, it's very referential of the old stuff. So you might need Wikipedia open when you read it, but it's really it's really moving. It's really good. It's really great stuff.
The artwork in that is fantastic.
As we mentioned earlier, we've got Superman for Tomorrow, which is by Brian Azzarello and Jim Lee. And there's 2 volumes of that. You can see some fantastic artwork on the back there. Those 2. Stuff there. That's
yeah.
And it's the reason they did this was because Jim Lee drew Hush, and Superman was in Hush, and there was an outcry for him to draw Superman.
Yeah.
It may be the other way around, but I'm pretty sure it's that way around. But anyway, it's a good story, and some really great artwork in there, and there's actually some artwork in there that's kind of like seminal. It's like stuff when you draw Superman, you now follow. Jim Lee's artwork from this.
Hush was a Batman story, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
Everyone knows that.
Then you've got another origin story that was done in the 80s, Superman Man of Steel, which this film takes its title from, and this is actually a collection of the title Superman Man of Steel, which was an ongoing title. So it starts happening, and there's bits in it start happening where there's crossovers with the other Superman titles going on, Action Comics.
Okay.
So it's an ongoing one, but it is an origin story, and in this you also have the first meeting of Batman and Superman. One of their first meetings where they don't get on very well and they have a little fight.
Funny that.
Sorry?
Funny that.
Yeah. And then lastly, as I've said a few times, we've got Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's Superman Secret Origin, which again was a retelling of the origin story. There's a lot of origin story retelling with Superman.
As you know, Nathan has a little bit of a man crush on Jeff Johns.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But as I say, and Gary Frank's artwork in this is fantastic, and he takes a lot of his cues from Christopher Reeve.
Can we say restraining order?
Yeah. so you can see there some of the Clark Kent stuff is actually really Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And this does all the stuff that you want to see. Like it's got him saving Lois from a helicopter, and just really great stuff in there. So that's worth reading as well if you get a chance. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that now. If you've made it this far,
well done.
Well done. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have watched this and listened to this because you are looking forward to Batman vs Superman and you want to get a recap, or you just simply love Man of Steel and wanted to hear some other nerds' opinions on it and other things around it. So,
or hated Man of Steel and wanted to hear our opinion on why we didn't hate it.
Although we hated on it a lot.
Well, you did more than me.
Yeah, maybe.
I think.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll probably sign off there. Thanks very much for listening and watching, everyone. I've been Nathan. This has been Ben.
Hello. Bye-bye.
And make sure you listen to our podcast regularly on Tuesdays, Lazarus Pit Pod, which is at lazaruspit.podbean.com.
That's right.
And all the social media stuff, which Ben will tell you right now.
Yeah, we're on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Talk to us. Share our stuff. Like our posts. I've had a couple of beers.
Yeah.
The more audience interaction, the better it is.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.